Pre-game show is brought to you in part by Nationwide Insurance Enterprise. Nationwide is on your side. Your Nationwide agent in Norristown is Salvatore Camuso. There's a live shot of Riverfront Stadium, Cincinnati. The tarp's off. Looks like we're going to get some baseball in shortly, and it will be the Phillies and the Reds in just a few minutes. Well, yesterday we gave you an update on John Kruk's encouraging status. The news is also a positive one for reliever Norm Charlton's rehab from elbow surgery. For Norm Charlton this weekend in Cincinnati, the former Red pitched back-to-back days for the first time on Friday. He threw batting practice to another recuperating Philly, Wes Chamberlain, and yesterday he threw for 10 minutes in the bullpen. Charlton is clearly ahead of schedule, and he got on the right track at spring training.
Well, I worked real hard in the off-season to get myself back to where I think I need to be and to get myself ready for this year. I didn't have any intention of sitting by and watching this year go by and playing again in August or September. And the key for me is I guess, to try not to do too much too soon. You know, I've come this far and I'm pretty close to being ready, but I don't want to jump out there a week before I should and set myself back and have it be, you know, end of May or June before I pitch.
Soft-spoken fella Norm Charlton. We hope to have him back in a Phillies lineup real soon. Let's head to Cincinnati now. Get Jim Fregosi's opinions about Norm Charlton and others. Phillies skippers with our Harry Callis. Harry?
Thanks, Neil. Here with manager Jim Fregosi. And Jim, a simulated game was pitched by Norm Charlton the other day, and the reports seem to be pretty good on Norm.
Well, he threw the ball extremely well, Harry, and the following day, which was yesterday, he threw on the side. So he's thrown back-to-back days. We'll probably throw him on Tuesday. We have a workout, and throw him on in the simulated game again, and it looks like he might be ready to go out and pitch. We're really thrilled with his progress. He's throwing the ball great. His fork ball is good. And the arm speed is there for him.
Oh, the original projection was sometime in June. It looks like it may be earlier, and you're going to have some decisions to make when John Kruk comes back, Larry Anderson, Norm Charlton, Wes Chamberlain. A lot of decision-making between you and Lee Thomas coming up.
Well, Harry, the first one is going to be relatively easy when John comes back within the next couple of days. After that, each one is going to become more difficult for us to really decide who's going to leave. And when we get Chamberlain back, we've had some young outfielders here that have had good springs. That choice is going to be difficult. And then we're going to have when Anderson and Charlton come back, we're going to have to move two pitchers off the ball club. A lot of times those things work themselves out or have a way to work themselves out, but they're going to be difficult decisions, and usually at that time somebody always does get their feelings hurt a little bit.
Home opener tomorrow at Veterans Stadium. Will John Kruk start?
We'll have to see how he comes out of the ball game that he's playing in Reading today. It's going to be a special day. The home opener is always special. Getting John Kruk back and getting our National League championship ring. So it's going to be a special day for everybody in this club.
Conditions today, problem for the players?
Definitely. I don't think there's any question on it. It's going to be freezing cold. It's a forecast of rain for the entire ball game. Hopefully, when you play a game like this, that nobody gets injured.
Good luck, Jim. Thanks,
buddy.
Jim Fregosi, Phillies manager. Now let's go back to the studio and Neil Harmon. Neil?
All right, Jim Fregosi, Harry Callis, thank you very much. Send it back to the ballpark just a moment. Do you have the answer to today's Who Said It quote, brought to you by Mazda? Remember the quote, it's a round ball, a round bat, but you got to hit it square. Who said it? That's right, Pete Rose. The baseball's hit king. There you see all his accomplishments. Pete Rose said it, and his 4,256 hits. There you see one right there. Up next, it's the Phillies against the Reds. Jeff Juden makes his Phillies debut against another right-hander, Eric Hansen. I'm Neil Hartman. I'll see you during the game with updates. For now, enjoy the game on PHL 17. Pre-game show was brought to you by Pizza Hut. Get a large cheese Neapolitan pizza delivered every day for just $7.99.
Retirement? I'm too young to be worried about retiring.
I'm set. I've been socking away a little of my paycheck every month.
The same company for almost 20 years. They'll take care of me.
You bet I got my nest egg covered.
In these uncertain financial times, turn to Nationwide Financial Services for a wide range of investment alternatives, most of which are tax advantaged. Because someday soon, the quality of your life may depend on the quality of your investments.
Car buyers today want more and more. You want more safety, so Buick Century comes standard with anti-lock brakes. They're over $900 extra on Honda Accord LX. You want more interior room, so Century gives you more than Accord. Finally, you want more value, so the value price Buick Century includes all of this and still costs $4,200 less than Accord LX. The more you want from a car these days, the more you want Buick Century.
Buick, the symbol for quality.
Why is Keystone Health Plan affiliated with 42,000 pharmacies nationwide? So even when the world's fast asleep, you'll find a druggist who's wide awake. Why does Keystone have 63 of the area's finest hospitals in its network? So even if you're a bit uncomfortable, you'll always be comfortable with the hospital you've chosen. Keystone from Independence Blue Cross and Pennsylvania Blue Shield. No wonder it's the fastest growing HMO.
Hot Pants and Paisley. Can you dig it? On the Wonder Years.
Weeknights at 5:30 and 6 on PHL 17.
Everybody from Riverfront Stadium in Cincinnati, welcome to Phillies baseball this afternoon. The final game of the series, the Phils and the Cincinnati Reds. Jeff Juden gets the start for the Phillies, and Eric Hansen over from the American League for Cincinnati. Harry Callis with Rich Ashburn and Andy Musser. It's an overcast day here in Cincinnati with chilly temperatures. Might help the pitchers, and this is going to be an interesting outing for Jeff Juden, Andy, as he won that spot as the number 5 starter, and this is a key role for him.
That's true, Harry. When you're the number 5 guy, you're always on the spot a little bit. Like in this case today, he hasn't pitched at all since March. And he's a guy who struggles with his control in good times. So now, having not pitched for a few days, that'll be the key thing today. Can he get the ball over the plate?
Throw strikes will be the key for Mr. Juden. And lineup change for the Phillies this afternoon, Whitey.
Yes, Jim Fregosi has Mariano Duncan at first base. Of course, Morandini is also playing, and in Cavilla, he has a better defensive club on the team, and it would appear to be a better offensive club. They've been a little short in scoring runs. I think he did as much for the offense as he did for the defense.
Darren Dalton has been moved up to the number 3 hole in the lineup. So it'll be Jeff Juden against Eric Hansen, and we'll be back with the starting lineups right after these messages.
The Phillies and the Cincinnati Reds is being brought to you by Budweiser. Beechwood aged for a crisp, clean, classic taste. The Yellow Pages 9 out of 10 people use. The genuine Bell Atlantic Yellow Pages. Your local Chevrolet Geo dealer. Mellon PSFS, the official bank of the Phillies. And by Independence Blue Cross and Pennsylvania Blue Shield. For 56 years, the health insurance company you can lean on.
I finally made it to the big leagues. And my first game, we get the call. And I'm thinking, how lucky can a guy get?
Beechwood aged for that fresh, distinctive taste. Crisp, clean, classic.
Loan rates like ours
come along even less often. Mellon PSFS, you're why we do our very best.
The Phillies play the Colorado Rockies in the home opener Monday, April 11th at 2:05 when all fans receive a free schedule magnet. Then again Wednesday, April 13th and Thursday the 14th at 7:35. A few new faces join the same group of gutsy, gritty gamers who gave you so much excitement, so many thrills in '93. Come back for more in '94. Reserve your tickets in advance. Call 463-1000. 463-1000 now.
Back at Riverfront Stadium in Cincinnati, that's the crew chief of this umpiring crew, John McSherry. We have rains here at Riverfront, and the question is whether McSherry will start this game, even despite the rains that are coming down. It's not raining real hard, but it's certainly going to be miserable kind of for the players. The pitchers have not warmed up as yet unless they've warmed up under the stands, but the warm-up mounds are covered, and the bases in the home plate area also covered. But it looks like the ground crew is coming out now, and they are going to remove the canvas. Perhaps Cincinnati players are loosening up in front of their dugout.
Well, the pitchers didn't warm up under the stands because the only reason I know that is that the warm-up catchers were on the bench, so they haven't warmed up.
Well, we've just received word that the projected starting time is going to be 2:30. 15 minutes from now, Jeff Juden will get the start for the Phillies in his first Phillies start. And in his first National League start for Cincinnati, it'll be Eric Hansen. Hansen coming over along with Brett Boone in the deal with Seattle that sent Bobby Ayala and Dan Wilson to Seattle. Juden had pretty good numbers at Tucson AAA level last year, 11-6. He was second among all AAA pitchers in strikeouts, 156 strikeouts in 169 innings. But he also walked a lot of people, and as Andy mentioned on the opening, his key will be throwing strikes. He issued 76 walks last year.
It's like he's getting ready for the Olympics. But we're going to have two big pitchers on the mound. The Eric Hansen is 6'6", and Juden is 6'8".
All of the Phillies pitchers are big. There's Hansen. Hansen just over from the American League. He was 11-12 last year at Seattle. 3.47 ERA. He struck out 163 and walked 60. A good strikeout walk ratio and 215 innings of work. Phillies saw him this spring. He had some flexor muscle problems in the spring, and he did not throw hard at all in that particular game in the spring. And he did not have a good spring training, in fact. He was 0-1 with a 10.64 ERA in spring training. But apparently is feeling a lot better. Has a good curveball. He threw mostly junk in that outing at Jack Russell Stadium in Clearwater when we saw him. Well, late score last night in 10 innings. Those Atlanta Braves edged the Dodgers 2-1. And the Bravos, Whitey, are now 6-0, all on the road.
Yeah, on the West Coast. They lost. They won 4 in San Diego and the first 2 in Los Angeles. So, well, everybody knew they were going to be tough with that pitching, and they throw Tommy Glavine today. So, you know, Greg Maddux has already won 2 ball games, and they've had a no-hitter out of Kent Merker. So their pitching is. I think, you know, somewhere along the line they'll run into some problems.
In the early going, the Phillies are in 3rd place in National League East behind the Braves, of course, and those New York Mets are 4-1. They got a good outing from Brett Saberhagen last night, who pitched a complete game win. So the Mets are in 2nd at 4-1. The Phillies are 3-2, and then Florida and Montreal are both 2-3. Cincinnati leads their division, the Central Division, with a 3-1 record. Cardinals are 500, 1 game back. Then the Cubs in Houston are 2-3, a game and a half back, and Pittsburgh is 1-4. Pittsburgh and Colorado have already been rained out at Three Rivers Stadium in Pittsburgh. That game has been postponed. San Francisco leads the National League West with a 4-1 record. That's no surprise. The Dodgers are 2-3, second place, and Colorado 1-4, and San Diego is at the bottom of the totem pole at 1-5. A couple of teams in the American League have not won a game yet. Seattle is 0-4 and Kansas City is 0-3. Everybody in the National League has won at least one game. Well, our projected start time is 2:30. Jeff Juden taking his warm-up tosses against Eric Hansen. And let's go back to the studios now and bring in Neil Hartman. Neil?
All right, Harry, thank you very much. And as you can see there, the players getting warmed up, and we should have baseball in just a few minutes here on PHL 17. John Kruk is playing this afternoon. They are playing baseball in Reading, and John Kruk has batted already twice through in the third inning against the Portland Sea Dogs, and John Kruk is grounded out and struck out, so he continues his rehab in Reading today. One game in the National League that's underway in the third inning. Chicago leads Montreal 2-0, and a couple ball games in the American League. Detroit and New York are deadlocked at 1 in the third, and Texas leads Baltimore 3-2 in the second, and in the second inning, Toronto has a 4-1 advantage over Seattle. We'll return back to the Riverfront Stadium in the ball game this afternoon in just a few minutes. In the meantime, here's the 93 recap with Harry Callis.
They were called everything from misfits and cast-offs to has-beens and never-wills. But even as early as spring training, baseball's brains and hometown hearts were believing that these Phillies were for real.
We're going all the way this time, Jim. Tell them about it.
We'll do all right.
Oh, yeah, I know we will.
I think the way we gelled spring training and the way we played to win down here and took that right on into the season. You know, it started from game one.
If the Phils were to evict themselves from the National League East basement, they had to get on the winning track from day one. And behind the left arm of Terry Mulholland, they did just that. A 4-hit complete game victory by Mo. The Phils' first opening day win in 9 seasons. Back at Mulholland. Terry Mulholland has pitched a complete game. Phillies have won their first opener since 1984. What a job by Mo.
When you haven't won in a while, like this team hadn't done, we needed to believe that we could win. And to do that, we had to come out of the gates and establish winning early.
The sparkling pitching and offensive production continued. With the Phillies' downfall in past seasons, their defense became their salvation as the Phils closed out April with their best start in club history. I don't believe it. Boy, do the Phillies hate to see this month of April end.
17-5.
A lot of people forget that they always say, well, the Penninger won in September. I disagree. Penninger won in April and September.
A new day, a new hero. A new way to win. That became the story of these Phillies early on. And it wasn't long before they adopted a battle cry which would be echoed time and time again in '93. Whatever it takes.
Phillies have won it 9-5 on a slam by Baptiste. Incredible, Whitey. Just incredible.
After I hit second, I was almost like, God, what did I just do? You know, I ain't been in here in a while to do something like this. You know, it took me a while to come down, but it's exciting.
As the offseason acquisitions continued to pay off, the Phils' brain trust made perhaps their best personnel move of '93. With a phone call to Scranton, their troubles at shortstop were replaced by the steady glove and surprising bat of Kevin Stocker.
I was fortunate to have the chance to go down to spring training with these guys and get to know them a little bit, so that made it a lot easier on me, and I think it made it easier on them. They knew what to expect from me, and they gave me a lot of confidence.
I just think that Stocker, once he came, everybody got better around him.
The first real test of the season came in late July. Clinging to a 4-game lead after losing 3 to the Giants, second place St. Louis invaded Philly for 3. Darren Dalton's 8 RBIs decked the cards and sent the Redbirds limping out of the vet, having been swept right out of the race. As the early season optimism seemed to grow more and more into midsummer confidence with each passing day, Fregosi and company were aware that the postseason was still nothing more than a goal on a team. They knew playing out the clock would not be an option. But
Mason's pitch deep to right field. This is trouble. Back it goes, and it's gone.
uh-oh, there goes another one. Tremendous home run by Biggio.
A very, very tough loss tonight.
Montreal's up their lead at St. Louis to 6-0.
Boy, they are relentless.
And the Expos have moved to within 4 of the Phils on a bases loaded single by Cordero.
There wasn't a panic there, and I think that was Jimmy more than anything else. I think Jimmy was a rock. And I think the club fed off that, and they maintained their composure, and that's what we came out of it.
The Phils return from Canada to host a much-welcomed Marlins. After keeping their heads above water with 3 straight versus Florida, the sizzling Atlanta Braves were the next hurdle. The Phils dropped 2 of 3 in the NLCS precursor and headed west in search of the Eastern Division title.
Hit a home run with the base a lot, they see your ball club, clinch, they go into the playoff, into the World Series, that's a very exciting moment for me.
This wonderful band of throwback players has won the National League East.
Playoff time was the best time for me. The fans were great. It was the most exciting baseball I've ever played.
3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, struck him out. Phillies are the 93 National League champions. Now the 2-1 pitch. Swing, a line drive to center. Dykstra there. This game's over. Kurt Schilling.
If that's the farthest I'm ever going on a team, it'll be the highlight of my life.
As tough as the road to the series was, the heartbreaking conclusion and the subsequent road home seemed, well, at times unbearable. But wow, what a great ride it was.
Well, a memorable season indeed. 1993, the Phillies winning the National League pennant. And of course, tomorrow, a sellout crowd of over 70,000 fans will be at Veterans Stadium to greet the Phillies as they get their championship rings. That'll be tomorrow afternoon, a 2:05 start against the Colorado Rockies at Veterans Stadium. And hopefully the weather will hold up for a good day of baseball tomorrow at Veterans Stadium. One other note, incidentally, Wes Chamberlain, we talked about Norm Charlton during the pregame show. We talked yesterday about John Kruk. Both those guys are doing well. Wes Chamberlain also making some progress, as you heard Jim Fregosi talk with Harry Callis earlier during the pregame show. Looks like he'll be starting his rehab assignment as early as Tuesday, so that's some good news as well. And Larry Anderson back here in Philadelphia, he is also progressing well. Apparently no problems with Larry Anderson, who is also recovering from arthroscopic knee surgery. Well, it looks like we're ready for baseball. They've been taking the tarps off at Riverfront Stadium. You see the pitchers there, Eric Hansen and Jeff Juden. 4th Major League start for Jeff Juden. Now we go back to Riverfront to Cincinnati. Bring in Harry Callis. We're ready for baseball. Harry?
All right, thanks, Neil. And Jeff Juden and Eric Hansen are completing their warm-up tosses. Juden is looking for his first Major League win. Lifetime, he is 0-3 in the big leagues. And 2 of his losses have come at the hands of Cincinnati. Of course, that was when he was with the Houston Astros, coming over from the Astros along with Doug Jones in the Mitch Williams deal. And Eric Hansen making his first National League start. On the left of your screen, Hansen coming over from the Seattle Mariners. Jim Fregosi and Bob Boone are bringing out the lineup cards for this afternoon's game as the umpires have assembled at the home plate area. Once the game starts, the weather conditions, the rains forecast for this afternoon, the game will be in the hands of the crew chief, John McSherry, this umpiring crew. Bob Boone, who many thought was going to be the manager of the Houston Astros, but he finished a close second to Terry Collins. And the opportunity to come here to Cincinnati as a coach and welcome that opportunity, especially with his son Brett, second baseman for the Reds.
Bob's dad, Ray, played in the major leagues for a lot of years, mostly with Cleveland, a power hitter. And of course, Bob had a good career, mostly with the Phillies. And he has Brett here and Aaron on the way, and the youngest boy the Boones have, Bob says might be better than all of them.
How old is he?
I believe he is in high school. I think he's only like 13, 14 years old.
John McSherry, the crew chief, talking it over with Bob Boone and with Jim Fregosi here at Riverfront Stadium. Phillies are home for the home opener tomorrow against the Colorado Rockies. Rockies have already been rained out at Pittsburgh. Same pitching matchup, though, for tomorrow. It'll be Danny Jackson against Mike Harkey. Marvin Freeman was supposed to start for Colorado today, but he will be scratched as the number 5 pitcher, and Mike Harkey will pitch for the Rockies tomorrow. Darren Daulton hitting out of the 3-hole today. Dutch has hit out of the 3-hole before in his career, and he is tied for the league lead in walks. One of the things the Phillies have missed offensively, the presence of John Kruk, has been that on-base percentage of the Krucker. Last year, Daulton knocked in over 100. Hollins close to 100. Incaviglia career high number of RBIs. And a lot of that was because of the table setters, Lenny Dykstra and John Kruk, who always seemed to be on base.
Just for the record, Matthew Boone is 14 years old, and he's in a high school in San Diego playing baseball. Bob Boone also had a brother that played with the Kansas City club for a short while. Bob's brother Rodney played with Kansas City in the Houston systems.
Reds have won the first 2 games of this series, of course, and the Phillies are trying to avert any kind of a sweep of the series. The Phillies were not swept a 3-game series all of last year. Last time the Phillies were swept a 3-game series was in '92. So a lot will fall on the broad young shoulders of Jeff Juden, the 23-year-old from Salem, Massachusetts, in this game today.
Kind of a day it is here. It's cool, a little windy, and it's damp.
There are quite a few Phillies fans here for this weekend series at Riverfront as the Cincinnati Reds are taking the field here. Weather keeping much of the crowd away this afternoon. Cincinnati at 4-1. They lost on opening night. First game played in the major leagues last Sunday night. And they haven't lost since. They had 1 game rained out. That was an 8-8 tie with St. Louis. Jim Fregosi's lineup for the Phillies this afternoon has Lenny Dykstra, center fielder, leading off. Mariano Duncan, first base, will bat second. Darren Dalton catching, hitting third. Dave Holland's third baseman bats fourth. Pete Incaviglia, left fielder, hitting fifth. Jim Eisenreich, the right fielder, bats sixth. Mickey Morandini at second base, hitting seventh. Kevin Stocker, the shortstop, bats eighth. And batting ninth and pitching, Jeff Juden. That lineup is facing the 28-year-old right-hander Eric Hansen.
As Harry told you, he is coming from the American League. He had a horrible spring. He had some arm problems in the middle of his arm, in the flexor area. Throws a fastball, a breaking ball, a big curveball, and once in a while a changeup.
Defensively behind Hansen, Tony Fernandez at third base, Barry Larkin the shortstop, Brett Boone at second, and Hal Morris at first. Joe Oliver doing the catching today. In the outfield, Kevin Mitchell in left, Roberto Kelly in center, and Reggie Sanders in right. The umpires for this afternoon's game, Ed Montague will call the balls and strikes. Charlie Williams at first base, Gary Darling at second, and John McSherry at third. Montague must think of warm fronts moving in here.
Shirt sleeves.
Now the Phils back home tomorrow. Homestand will bring to Veterans Stadium the Colorado Rockies, the Cincinnati Reds, and the Los Angeles Dodgers. Eric Hansen. In the spring game we saw him in against the Phils, threw an awful lot of curveballs, just rarely threw his fastball, but he did have the muscle problem in his arm at that time, so he might be a little different today.
That curveball has a big hump in it. It breaks late, but it breaks quickly, and it breaks quite a ways. So the hitters are going to have to, the right-hand hitters especially, are going to have to stay with that pitch.
Lenny Dykstra will lead it off. Lenny hitting at .227. Hansen went to high school in New Jersey. Was an all-state basketball and baseball player at Heightston, New Jersey High School, and is in the New Jersey Sports Hall of Fame. Original second-round pick of the Mariners in '89. High with a fastball, 1 ball and no strikes to Lenny Dykstra. Lifetime Hansen's won 56, lost 54 in the major leagues. 2 balls and no strikes. Right there for a called strike. 2-1 to Lenny Dykstra. On the off-speed pitch, it's 2-2.
Called that a swing, I believe. And he tried to check. Didn't like the call.
Curveball comes in low. It's a full count to Dykstra. Slammed up the middle. Nice grab, Larkin, but he's not going to get Dykstra. Lenny hit a couple of balls hard yesterday that were caught, but he legs this one out for an infield single, and Dykstra a leadoff base runner.
Larkin might have had him had he been able to get a handle on the ball right away, but he just juggling around. He did make a good play, though. See that ball trickling around down there on the ground, and that delay cost Larkin to play at first.
Brings on Mariano Duncan. Dunk hitting at .350. One strike to Duncan. Duncan playing at first base today. Played some there in the spring. Lenny's stolen 2 bases so far this season. He hadn't been thrown out. Curveball is high. 1 ball and 1 strike. Duncan's among the league leaders in runs batted in, tied for 4th in the league in that department with 7 of them. He hit 2 home runs at Colorado. Changeup fooled him. 1-2.
That changeup has a little sink to it. Watch it drop low and inside there. It's almost like a palm ball or something.
Lenny Dykstra, runner at first base. Nobody out here in the top of the first. Curveball hit sharply past Tony Fernandez into left field for a base hit. So the Phils have their first 2 men on base here in the first inning, and that will bring up Darren Dalton.
That's what we mean by staying with the curveball is exactly what Duncan did. He didn't give any ground at all. See that, the big loop to that curve? You don't see that pitch very often.
Darren Dalton is batting at .286. Tied for the league lead in walks with 6, and 6th in the league in on-base percentage with a .500 on-base percentage. 1 ball and no strikes. Two men on base. Nobody out. Fastball nailed to deep center field. Kelly is back. This ball's out of here. Center field home run. Darren Dalton. The Phillies jump to a 3-0 lead here in the first inning.
It's a pretty good lineup for Gossi made out today.
Yeah, really.
Single, 3-run homer. Still nobody out.
Dalton's 2nd home run of the year. He's knocked in 6 now, and the batter will be Dave Hollins.
The ball's hit a long way out away from Dalton, the pitch, and it's exactly where he hit it.
Hollins off to a great start. Dave hitting at .474, 4th in the league in hitting. Fastball is over for a called strike. Ground ball hit sharply, but add Morris. Morris will make the play himself. Hollins is retired for out number 1 in the inning. And it will bring up Pete Incaviglia.
Hollins hit that ball hard right on the line. Morris was just a couple of steps off the line and was able to make the play, but Hollins stung that ball.
Incaviglia homered in yesterday's game. He's hitting at .267. Smothers it foul down the third base side. No balls and a strike to Incaviglia. Bouncing up there for a ball, 1-1. Curveball. 1-2 the count to Pete Incaviglia. Chased the high fastball and he missed it, struck him out. That's 2 down, and that'll bring up Jim Eisenreich. Incaviglia really in the spring was very selective and did not go after high pitches. As soon as the season started, he got into that habit of chasing the high pitch again. But he laid off that at spring training. Of course, had a great spring. Eisenreich takes a strike. Eyes hitting at .316 in this ballpark. Lifetime, he's 14 for 23. Curveball bouncing up there. 1-1 strike to Jim Eisenreich. Change up hit on the ground to Brett Boone. He throws Eisenreich out, and that'll retire the side. Phil's put 3 on the board in the first. 3 hits, no errors, and none left. Aaron Dalton a home run. At the end of 1/2, Phil's 3, Cincinnati coming to bat.
If Burger King had just one customer, we'd have just one way to serve the #1 preferred burger. But since you come in more than one size, so does the Flame Broiled Whopper. Like the new Whopper Jr. with more beef than before. Or Double Whopper with more beef than you'd believe. There's a Whopper taste for any size appetite from the everyday value of 99 cents. Whopper meals from $1.99. We don't have to be the world's #1 fast food place. Just yours, and yours, and yours.
Welcome to Burger King. Can I take your order, please?
How we doing?
Dave needs to see you.
I'll be right there. Hey, Ron.
Brad, man, how you doing?
All right.
Brad Johnson has a lot to think about.
Where's my table?
Dave needs you in the kitchen right now.
That's why he chose AT&T. Competitive prices without the hassle is his AT&T business advantage.
Hey, Joey, get the big box. What's up, Dave? You got problems? Call a plumber.
So what does Brad think about his long-distance service now? He doesn't.
AT&T works for me.
Let AT&T work for you.
When a spy seduces an ambassador,
Tell me the access code for your purple file.
his stolen secrets
Anon will pay well for that data.
help me threaten to destroy an empire on an all-new Babylon 5.
Wednesday at 8 on PHL 17.
Davey Johnson's Cincinnati lineup this afternoon. Tony Fernandez, third baseman, leads off. Barry Larkin, shortstop, batting second. Hal Morris at first base hits third. Kevin Mitchell, the left fielder, batting fourth. Reggie Sanders, the right fielder, hits fifth. Roberto Kelly, center fielder, batting sixth. Brett Boone, the second baseman, hits seventh. Joe Oliver catching, batting eighth, and batting ninth, and pitching Eric Hansen. That lineup facing Jeff Juden.
Big Jeff Juden, 6'8", 23-year older. Last year at Tucson, 11 wins, 6 losses. Made the club in spring training as the 5th starter.
Defensively behind him, Dave Hollins at third base, Kevin Stocker at shortstop, Mickey Morandini at second, and Mariano Duncan at first base. Darren Dalton doing the catching. And in the outfield, it's Pete Incaviglia in left, Lenny Dykstra in center, and Jim Eisenreich in right. Switch hitting Tony Fernandez leads off. Signed as a free agent at spring training by the Cincinnati Reds. Long-time Gold Glove shortstop in the American League for Toronto. And the Reds picked him up to play third. 1 ball and no strikes to Tony Fernandez. Two and nothing. him on 4 pitches. So Fernandez is a leadoff base runner. And the batter will be Barry Larkin. It's one thing you worry about with Juden is throwing strikes. He had a lot of strikeouts at AAA last year, but also led the Coast League in walks. Larkin is batting at 111. Off to a very slow start for this all-star shortstop. Just missed a little bit low.
He's not going to get those borderline pitches. He's had a couple of them.
Ed Montague has always had he's a good umpire, but he's had a small strike zone, and that's not going to help Jeff Juden. First 6 pitches out of the strike zone. 2 balls and no strikes.
What he doesn't want to do is, you know, with a 3-run lead, is walk the ballpark, and looks like he's aiming the ball a little bit instead of throwing it. Might be a little nervous. First start for the Phillies.
2 balls and no strikes to Barry Larkin. Low, 3-0. Got that one over. Three balls and 1 strike to Larkin. Breaky, and that one just missed inside. He walked him. Back-to-back walks to Fernandez and Larkin. Johnny Padres will pay a visit to the mound. Morris will be the batter. Morris hitting at .333. He's been a tough out against the Phillies. Lifetime of .375 hitter against the Phillies. Phillies have 3 on the board, but Juden's walked the first 2 red batters here in the bottom of the first. Morris is a lifetime .307 hitter. Celebrated his 29th birthday yesterday with a home run. That's 11 pitches thrown and just 1 strike thrown by Juden. 2 balls and no strikes. That one over. 2-1.
Morris hits the Phillies great, hits the Phillies better than anybody else. The Mets get him out. He's a 150 hitter against the Mets.
Wow.
Dodgers get him out. 243.
Three balls and a strike. Kevin Mitchell waiting on deck. walked. The base is loaded. Will not sit well with manager Jim Fregosi here. He's up off the chair and certainly doesn't want to go to his bullpen this early, but here's Kevin Mitchell. He's hitting .316. 3 homers and 6 RBIs. That one misses.
Well, Fregosi is going to have to do something pretty soon. You just can't let that pitcher stay out there and throw balls. He's thrown 2 strikes to the first 4 hitters
out of 15 pitches.
Wonder what they keep saying to him. He's had a lot of meetings. Looks like Fergosi's gonna let him go. There's nobody warming up.
But he's starting to pace a little bit. One strike to Kevin Mitchell. He's ahead of Mitchell, 0-2. Belated birthday wishes to Betty Kerr. Make a 1 ball and 2 strikes. Betty Kerr in Linwood, Pennsylvania. Betty's son Jack here at the ballpark today. Ground ball hit to shortstop. They'll get 1. They turn the double play on a good scoop by Mariano Duncan. Under pressure, Morandini threw low, but Duncan, good scoop at first base.
Yeah, Mitchell, just a fair base runner, but that really didn't look like a double play. Hit it off the end of the bat. Morandini really turned that under some pressure from Morris. Good scoop there on the backhand.
A run scores, no RBI on the double play, and the batter will be Reggie Sanders. That's got to give Juden a lift. Big lift. 1 strike to Sanders.
I don't know about Juden. It gave Fregosi a big lift. You know that.
No balls and a strike to Sanders. Got that one over. So he's ahead of Sanders, 0-2 with Larkin at third base. And 2 outs. Phil's lead 3-1. One ball and 2 strikes. By Dalton, 2-2. Barry Larkin at third base with 2 outs, a run across. Phil's lead 3-1 here in the first inning. Hit center field. Larkin scores. It's a 3-2 ball game. The Reds come back with 2 of their own, and Roberto Kelly will be the batter.
And a high fastball. That's the first base hit for Sanders in this series. But a big 2-out base hit. See him level off on that pitch over the middle of the plate and up a little. he wanted that pitch in is where he wanted it.
Roberto Kelly, the batter, hitting at .231. Runner going. Dalton's throw late. He didn't have much of a shot. A big jump by Sanders. And the second steal of the year for Reggie Sanders. Watch this jump he gets.
Yeah, that's a tremendous jump. I don't think a perfect throw would have had him.
One strike to Roberto Kelly. Took some off that pitch. Change up for a breaking ball. No balls and 2 strikes. Into center field, a base hit by Kelly, and this game is tied at 3-3 here in the first inning.
And Kelly will steal a base.
This one is starting out like a wild one here at Riverfront.
Jammed him a little bit on the pitch, hit it about on the trademark, but dumped it through the middle. Well, 2 of the 3 walks have scored, and of course the double play ball eliminated one of those walks, but the double play ball sandwiched in there has saved a huge inning.
One strike to Brett Boone, who's hitting at .308. He has hit safely in all 4 games that he's played. Cincinnati has made it a habit to score early. Of the 27 runs they have scored this year, 23 of them have come in the first 4 innings.
Kelly looks like he wants to go, especially now.
0-2 to Boone. Another hit. They're just lining him back through the middle. 3 straight singles to center field. And the batter will be Joe Oliver.
Well, he's throwing the strikes he's throwing right now. He's throwing up and over the heart of the plate, and those get hit. Some of them get hit a long way.
Jim Fregosi is going to get bullpen activity. Mike Williams gets up in the Phillies bullpen. Two men on base with 2 outs for Oliver, who's hitting at .231. Runners going, and no throw by Dalton. Didn't have a chance. They got such a big jump. I don't know if you take a chance now of intentionally walking Joe Oliver with Eric Hansen, an American League pitcher who hasn't.
No. Don't walk anybody else intentionally.
Probably. I don't know.
He's walking too many unintentionally.
Double steal. Juden obviously does not hold runners close. He'll work from the windup here. 1 strike to Joe Oliver. Fouls it out of play. 0-2. Tossing inside, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Balk has been called by Gary Darling, the second base umpire, and the Reds lead it 4-3. What else can happen?
This is a disastrous start for Jeff Juden. Phillies were hoping for a lot better.
2 balls and 2 strikes. Almost a wild pitch, a good block by Dalton. It's a full count. Brett Boone, the runner at third base. Grounded up the middle. Kevin Stocker fields and throws out Oliver, and the Reds are finally retired, but not before taking the lead with 4 runs, 3 hits, 3 walks, and a balk, and 1 man left. After 1, 4-3 Cincinnati.
Baseball is back. And you can play it anytime, any place. Introducing Doubleheader from the Pennsylvania Lottery. Just scratch off 9 innings, beat the other team's score, and win up to $1,000 instantly. Best of all, you get 2 games for the price of 1. Doubleheader from the Pennsylvania Lottery.
Any mulching mower can chop up grass. But the Honda Harmony lawnmower has an exclusive twin blade that cuts grass into fine particles and returns them to your lawn as fertilizer. There's no need to bag or dump clippings. And you get a better end result. The Honda Harmony mulching mower. Nothing's easier. For a free video, call 1-800-MULCH-21.
It started with an idea that has now won the prestigious Thomas Edison Patent Award, which annually recognizes major innovations in technology. The award was won by Exxon for a gasoline additive that removes deposits for a cleaner engine, reduces emissions for cleaner air, and improves performance. Next time you fill up, rely on the award-winning gasolines from Exxon.
After 1 inning of play at Cincinnati 4 and the Phillies 3. Upcoming telecasts of Phillies baseball include the home opener tomorrow afternoon at 2 on Prism, and Wednesday night's game with the Rockies at 7:30 on Sports Channel. Well, Mickey Morandini will lead it off for the Phils. Mickey is 1 out of 5 in the early going this year, hitting at .200. Wild first inning. Darren Dalton a 3-run home run. Then Jeff Juden walked the bases loaded. Then after a double play ground out, 3 straight singles and a balk, and Cincinnati got 4 back and lead it by a run. Morandini leading it off for the Phils. Takes it high for a ball. Ground ball hit to Hal Morris. Morris to Hansen covering, and that's in time for out number 1. That'll bring up Kevin Stocker. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Phillies and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form without the express written consent of the Phillies. Stocker is hitting at 200. All of his hits have come left-handed. He's 0 for 2 right-handed. One strike to Stocker. Two quick strikes to Kevin Stocker.
There's that pitch. It's almost like a screwball the way it dips away. Probably it was a little too far outside.
In the shallow left, Larkin a long run, makes the running grab. Good play by Barry Larkin.
He knew that his left fielder wasn't going to get it, and so Barry Larkin went flat out as fast as he could go right from the get-go. One nice thing about having a left fielder out there that don't cover a lot of ground, he never runs into anybody.
One strike to pitcher Jeff Juden. Juden is hitting left here. He's listed as a right-hand hitter, but I think he's gone to switch hitting. He's nothing for 5 lifetime.
He started that in spring training, switch hitting.
One ball and 2 strikes to Jeff Juden.
Doesn't have a very good swing from either side.
He struck him out. Second strikeout for Hansen. Phillies down in order here in the second. No runs, hits, errors, and none left. We move to the bottom of the second. It's 4-3 Cincinnati.
Meet Bo and Abe, just 2 average teens from the planet Crouton. An insatiable appetite for fun, females, and food.
My brother and I were arrested for eating 75 gallons of ice cream.
These boys are bound to make you laugh.
You tell them we accept the challenge.
Do you guys take anything seriously?
Food, women. Women with food, naked women without food.
Hi, hello, how are you?
They came from outer space, weeknights at 5, beginning April 18th on PHL 17.
Look at the 94 Ford Ranger. Looks a lot like the 93. Well, the 93 was a good truck. Yeah, in 93. But this Chevy's an all-new design with more horsepower and more head and shoulder room with a cargo bed that's deeper and wider than the Ranger. Ford's got to have something the new Chevy doesn't. It does. A higher price. That Ranger's about $500 more. That's it. I'm going to his local Chevy Geo dealer. To save $500, it's worth comparing. Go see for yourself at your local Chevy Geo dealer.
Where are they going?
Shopping.
9 out of 10 use the genuine Bell Atlantic Yellow Pages.
It's the first business person special of the season. Compliments of Mellon PSFS. Tuesday, April 19th at 1:05 when the Phillies demolish, demoralize, and dismantle the Dodgers. Midweek, midday, April fun of the sun. Call 463-1000.
Well, the Phils open at Veterans Stadium tomorrow against the Rockies at 2:05. A very special day for celebration. Compliments of Pennsylvania's new 610 area code. If you haven't already purchased your tickets for the opening, sorry you're too late. This year's home opener has been sold out, but plan to be on hand for one of the other opening homestand games, including Photo Ball Day on April 16th. Keychain with a replica of the NL Championship ring on April 17th, both against Cincinnati, and our first business person special, April 19th against the Dodgers. 4 tickets ordered by calling 463-1000. Eric Hansen leads it off. 2 quick strikes to Eric Hansen. Only Juden can get that ball at 6-8. But he throws out Hansen. 1 down. That'll bring on Tony Fernandez. He walked and scored a run his first time up.
.38 pitches that he's thrown in the second inning here. It's a lot of pitches.
Yep. One and nothing to Tony Fernandez.
35 in the first inning.
In the air to right field. Eisenreich coming hard, and Dykstra wasn't sure Eisy was going to get there, so Dykstra also coming hard, but Eisenreich makes the grab for out number 2.
Eisenreich kind of surrounded the ball. That's what confused Dykstra, and Eisenreich cut right in front of him. Lenny was hollering for it.
Two down. It'll bring up Barry Larkin. Ground ball hit to Mickey Morandini. Throws out Larkin, and Juden comes back strong after a very shaky first inning. No runs, hits, errors, and none left. At the end of 2, 4-3 Cincinnati.
It's a round world, genuine and true. It keeps on spinning and you always come through. And you're giving it your best. Proud to be your bud. Budweiser. Proud to be your bud. Proud to be your bud. Ooh, yeah. Proud to be your. Proud to be your bud.
I just can't climb into a suit and tie.
Meet Kevin. He didn't get his business philosophy from an MBA program.
I think it's really about not the profit margins I'm trying to make, but about staying connected with my customers.
How else does Kevin connect with his customers? The AT&T Business Advantage, his own 800 number. Now you can keep up with your customers for only $6 a month.
Hey, AT&T works for me.
Let AT&T work for you.
In an age of anonymous luxury cars, a Jaguar remains defiantly individual. Because Jaguar has a design philosophy that doesn't change with the wind. For details on the new Jaguar Dream Lease, see your local dealer.
Ball fans 14 and under receive a free photo ball baseball featuring different National League champion Philly players. Compliments of Burger King. When the Phillies rip roar against the Cincinnati Reds. Saturday, April 16th, 7:05. For tickets, call 463-1000.
Third inning is 4-3 Cincinnati. Our trivia question of the afternoon is brought to you by Dodge. Last year, Lenny Dykstra led the Phillies in games, at-bats, runs, and hits. Who was the last Philly before Dykstra to accomplish that feat, leading the club in games, at-bats, runs, and hits? Here is the dude to lead off for the Phils here in the third. He singled and scored a run his first time up. One ball and no strikes to Dykstra. Fastball on the inside corner for a strike, 1-1. high with a fastball. 2 balls and a strike to Dykstra. Slow.
That looks like a screwball almost. It drops down.
Reds broadcaster said it was just a straight change. Maybe he does turn it over, but.
Well, it's going down and away.
Good play by Morris. Dykstra's really been picked in this series. He's hit some rockets that have been picked, and that's a fine play by Hal Morris for out number 1.
Yeah, Morris has really made some good plays. He hasn't had to move that much. He did dive on this one. Rolled away from him a little bit. Quick recovery, and Reds have played very good defensive series here, especially the infielders.
Mariano Duncan singled his first time up. 1 strike to Duncan. One. Duncan was on the Reds 90 World Championship team. Change up, a ball and 2 strikes to Mariano Duncan. Kind of showing the fastball inside. Might come back with that changeup now. 2-2. Now is a fastball, and Duncan lines it, but right at Reggie Sanders. 2 down. It'll bring up Darren Dalton. He hit a 3-run home run his first time up. Saturday night when the Phillies take on the Cincinnati Reds at Veterans Stadium at 7:05. We have a great new giveaway, Adam, for all youngsters 14 and under. Photo balls featuring various Phillies players, compliments of Burger King. Best and easiest way to reserve your tickets. Do it early by calling 463-1000 or stop by any one of the many local Ticketmaster outlets. Photo ball night on April 16th against Cincinnati at 7:05. Curveball for a strike. 1 strike to Dalton. Another curveball. Through another one. It's low. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Change up low. 2-2 to Dalton. 2 outs and no base runners here in the 3rd. The Reds lead 4-3. Strikes on a fastball on the inside corner. The 3rd strikeout for Hanson. No runs, hits, errors, and none left. We go to the bottom of the 3rd. 4-3 Cincinnati.
Introducing the new 1995 Lexus Coupe. After all, you only go around once.
Lean on me when you're not strong, and I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on, for it won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody to lean on.
Lean on number 1, Independence Blue Cross and Pennsylvania Blue Shield.
There's a new kind of energy around here. An energy company that's doing everything it can to help protect your air and your rivers. In fact, it's one of the few in the country that already exceeds those tough new clean air standards and won't have to spend a lot of money on new equipment to help preserve your environment. They planned ahead. There's a new energy company around here and a new name, Pico Energy, focusing our energies on you.
Today's game is brought to you in part by Budweiser, Beechwood Age for a crisp, clean, classic taste. By your Quality Plus Ford dealers who invite you to test drive the brand new 1994 Mustang convertible. And by the Pennsylvania Lottery. Lottery proceeds benefit older Pennsylvanians. Al Morris leads it off for Cincinnati here in the bottom of the third. Our trivia question of the afternoon is brought to you by Dodge. Last year, Lenny Dykstra led the Phils in games, at-bats, runs, and hits. Who was the last Philly before Dykstra to accomplish that feat?
Has to be Dave Cash.
Good guess.
Incorrect, huh?
Incorrect, however. This man is still playing in the major leagues. Playing for those Detroit Tigers.
I ought to know that then.
Yeah. Ball and 2 strikes to Morris, who walked his first time up.
I'd like to know who it is, Harry.
Hard ground ball shortstop Kevin Stocker throws out Morris, 1 down. How quickly they forget that Juan Southwell. Sammy's been playing for Sparky Anderson. Non-roster invitee to the Tigers camp and earned a spot with a big club. Mitchell grounded into a double play his first time up. Foul tip for a strike. Bouncing ball to shortstop. Kevin Stocker retires Mitchell. 2 down here in the third, and that'll bring up Reggie Sanders.
It's the same pitcher we saw in the first inning?
Yeah, he settled down the first inning. Juden walked 3. Committed a balk, gave up 3 hits. Sanders singled his first time up to drive in a run. Just missing. 1 ball and no strikes. He committed at a low breaking ball, 1-1. left field, but Incaviglia makes the grab, and that will retire the side. No runs, hits, errors, and none left. Andy Musser and Chris Wheeler join you in the fourth. At the end of the 3, it's 4-3 Cincinnati.
I finally made it to the big leagues. And my first game, we get the call. And I'm thinking, how lucky can a guy get?
Beechwood aged for that fresh, distinctive taste. Crisp, clean, classic.
Oh, man. Look what you did.
What I did? Just who do you think you are, man?
Who do you think I am?
Easy, fellas. What would he do?
Oh, the Yellow Pages?
Just any Yellow Pages?
The genuine Yellow Pages.
9 out of 10 use it.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
The genuine Bell Atlantic Yellow Pages.
When a spy seduces an ambassador,
Tell me the access code for your purple files.
his stolen secrets
Alarm will pay well for that data. Help me.
threaten to destroy an empire. On the next Babylon 5. And the mob moves in on the reservation
They want to build a resort and gambling casino.
until Kane and Peter even the odds. On the next Kung Fu, the legend continues.
Wednesday beginning at 8 on PHL 17.
A great gift to remember the spectacular 93 season by, a free keychain with a replica of the 93 NL Championship ring on, and it's free for all children 14 and under. Compliments of Subway on Sunday, April 17th. The number to call for your tickets, 463-1000, or stop by one of the many local Ticketmaster outlets. So we had all the scoring in the first inning, and now we move to the fourth, and it's still 4-3 Cincinnati as Dave Hollins leads it off for the Phillies. Hollins made the first out in the ball game when he grounded out to first base. Dave's been off to a torrid start, though. He came into the game today with a .560 on-base percentage. You can't do a whole lot better than that.
He's really been off to a good offensive start. He's one of the few Phillies that have really been consistent since the start of the season. That's why Fregosi shook up the lineup a little bit today, put Dalton in the 3-hole, because they just haven't been scoring runs here in this series. In Colorado, you score them by accident.
Well, that is so true. It's most of the team was anxious to get out of Colorado and get into what they call the real ballpark. 1 ball, 1 strike on Dave.
Fregosi moving Dalton into the 3-hole and sitting Ricky Jordan down today, playing Mariano Duncan at first.
Pitch in for a strike, 1-2 on Dave. And the possibility that John Kruk could be in the lineup tomorrow for the home opener. We say possibility. Certainly it's a fact that John will be there and will receive his ring. John playing today at Reading. Well, Hansen fools Hollins there. Dave did not have a good swing at that at all.
Looked like it might have been a changeup. He's throwing his breaking ball really well since the first inning. That's a changeup, a straight change, and you can see it go down and away from Dave Hollins, and it did really fool him. Fastball, curveball, changeup so far from Hansen.
Here's Incaviglia, struck him out too, but that was on a high fastball. Hansen did not make his first start for the Reds because he had the flu that day. He was supposed to go against the Cardinals on Wednesday and got scratched. Ball and a strike on Incaviglia. Pete had the best spring of any of the Phillies. But since the season began, he seems to be pressing just a little.
Well, he's chasing the high fastball, and that's a pitch they're going to get him out on.
Broken bat looper. It's sinking. It is a base hit. So Incaviglia trades a bat for a base hit. Phillies hit number 4 in the game. Incaviglia at first with one away. The hitter will be Jim Eisenreich. Eisenreich in his first at bat today grounded to second. Reds infield looking for a double play. Hansen had retired 10 batters in a row before that hit, and here's another one. Incaviglia's heading for third base. Here's Sanders' throw on the fly, but it's offline. Single by Eisenreich sends Incaviglia to third.
A lot of people think Incaviglia is a big, slow guy. He is not. He runs very, very well, especially for a man that size. And he read that very well off the bat. He knew where Reggie Sanders was in right field, that he was playing very deep, and that he had to go to his left a little bit. And Sanders makes a strong throw here, but it's offline. And he knew Sanders was going to have to make a perfect throw to get him. And that was a good base running gamble by Incaviglia, and it turned out positive for him.
Now the Reds put the infield at double play depth here. Mickey Morandini, the hitter. The tying run at third base for the Phillies, who trail it 4-3. Fouled sharply. Scattered him down there in the Phillies bullpen.
That had Boa diving for cover, and then them down there in the bench area. The bullpen is on the other side of the dugout.
Morandini grounded out to Morris, the first baseman, his first time up. Eisenreich has stolen 2 bases. You don't think of Jim as a base stealer, but he has 2 already and has not been caught. Phillies came out and got 3 quick runs today, but the Reds answered right back, and they lead by 1. Bounces away from Oliver. Here comes Incaviglia. Tie ball game. Down to second goes Eisenreich on a wild pitch.
Hansen was trying to make a perfect pitch then with a breaking ball to Morandini, and he bounced it up there, and Oliver wasn't able to control it. Bounced well away from Incaviglia, could score easily. Here you'll see the curveball in the dirt, and it just, it changed direction. See how it had the reverse spin on it? That's what a breaking ball will do. It'll go the opposite direction. And Oliver really had very little chance to block that one very well.
So Inky's broken bat single has turned into the tying run. 1-1 on Morandini. Phillies a chance to get more here now with a runner at second and still only 1 out on the inning.
Hansen now with men on base is really pulling that breaking ball, as opposed to he was real relaxed before. He's just kind of getting it over. Now he's really yanking it, it looks like, and that's why he's starting to bounce him a little more.
And Oliver battles that pitch. It's 3-1, and he wants to talk to his hurler.
Well, it's a lot easier to throw that pitch when there's no men on base, and that's what all of a sudden has happened to him with men on. He's trying to make the perfect pitch.
Joe Oliver had the day off yesterday. Brian Dorsett was the Cincinnati catcher yesterday, and he had a big RBI single that had the Reds ahead most of the afternoon. (3-1). Morandini chases an off-speed pitch. It's a full count on Mickey.
Changeup. You know, Eric Hansen has come over from the American League, and that's an American League style right there. You throw a 3-1 changeup. Nothing wrong with it. But a lot of hitters in this league swing fastball, and that's what Morandini did.
3-2 pitch is skied in the air to shallow center. On comes the center fielder Kelly. Cat falls off, but he makes the catch. That's the second out of the inning as Morandini flies out, and Stocker will bat.
3-1 changeup, 3-2 curveball. Now Oliver's on his way to the mound to talk to Hansen. They saw Juden's weak at bat his first time up, so they certainly don't want to let Stocker hurt him here.
Yeah, and Stocker has to be mindful of that too, because with first base open, he's not going to see much to hit. Stocker out on a pop-up first time up. It was a good running catch by Larkin.
They're going to talk some more.
Well, that's Larkin, and they're going to walk him. They're going to make it. They're going to go ahead and walk him with 4.
That's amazing. It really surprised you to see that here in the 4th inning.
Well, you know, it's like you and I were saying, they were virtually going to do it anyway. And Stocker's no dummy, so why not just go ahead and walk it?
Well, because hitters are going to chase pitches a lot of times. You know, in my opinion, you don't walk Kevin Stocker here in the 4th inning. But because you give the Phillies an advantage there, you turn their lineup over, lead Dykstra off in the 5th. But that's Davey Johnson's way of doing it. Some managers like to do it, some don't.
It is the first walk of the afternoon for Hansen. And he will get Jeff Juden up there, and I assume that Juden will again be batting left-handed, huh?
Well, yeah, he batted left-handed in spring training, but it was almost always in bunting situations. He's listed as a right-handed batter. And we saw the swings that he had his first time up, and he doesn't swing the bat real well left-handed either.
Here he is, struck out first time around, one of 4 that Hansen has recorded in the ball game.
Key is he's real settled down in this game, though, after a bad first inning.
Yes, he has, and he takes a called strike. It's a 4-4 tie at this point. Two on and 2 out as the Phillies bat in the 4th. That's a base hit for Juden. Here's Eisenreich coming around. Here's Mitchell's throw, cut off, and a run scores. They've got a man in a run down here, and it's Stocker who is tagged out to win the inning, but the run counts and the Phillies lead the ball game. The Phillies get 2 runs, 3 hits, and 1 man left on base, and the Phillies are up 5-4.
Who's got the action night after night?
Sweetie Super rookie Michael Renberg and the Flyers charge into the Big Apple to battle Mike Keenan's New York Rangers. Don't miss the season finale as the Flyers clash with the Rangers Thursday night at 7:30 only on PHL 17.
We play the Flyers on 17.
Flyers Rangers season finale Thursday at 7:30.
Look at the 94 Ford Ranger. Looks a lot like the 93. Well, the 93 was a good truck. Yeah, in 93. But this Chevy's an all-new design with more horsepower and more head and shoulder room with a cargo bed that's deeper and wider than the Ranger. Ford's got to have something the new Chevy doesn't. It does. Aha, a higher price. That Ranger's about $500 more. That's it. I'm going to his local Chevy Geo dealer. To save $500, it's worth comparing. Go see for yourself at your local Chevy Geo dealer.
Perfect job.
Here we go.
The new Fila cross-training, running, and basketball shoes. You can look everywhere, but you'll only find them at Foot Locker.
Excellent. Hey, not the billboard. Awesome.
The new Fila running, cross-training, and basketball shoes. No matter where you see them, you'll only get them at Foot Locker.
This must be a conspiracy.
Good afternoon. I'm Neil Hartman with a sports break. 7 games in the American League this afternoon. First, it's Boston trailing Chicago 1-0 in the 3rd. Kansas City out in front of Cleveland in the 3rd. Oakland 6-3 in front of Minnesota in the 4th. In the 5th, California out in front of Milwaukee. Detroit and New York deadlocked at 2 in the 6th. Texas out in front of Baltimore 6-4 in the 5th. And look what Toronto's doing to Seattle, 12-4 the score there. They're in the 6th. Phillies have just taken the lead. It's now 5-4. We go to the bottom of the 4th to Andy and Wheels.
Okay, and let's take a look at that last play again, Wheels, and we'll have a chance to see how Stocker gets himself in the rundown here.
This is a good base running play. Juden gets a base hit to left field. Now the runner coming from 2nd to 3rd, you want to make the fielder cut that ball off to make sure you get the run out of it. Stocker did that. Now he's in the rundown. They tag him out, and the Phillies get the go-ahead run. But a base runner wants to try and have that happen if possible.
So for the 2nd time, the Phillies have handed Jeff Juden a lead. Here's Roberto Kelly, and he takes a strike. Kelly got an RBI single back in the 1st inning off an 0-2 pitch, and then he scored on a balk. But now it's 5-4 Phillies in the bottom of the 4th. 1-1.
Be interesting to see how Juden reacts now. They have a lead. He helped give himself a lead.
He sure did, and he has retired 7 batters in a row. 2 balls and a strike.
A lot of times the key to a ball game, key to pitching, is how you react after your team gives you the lead. Can you come back out and shut down the opposition? Big game in Denver the other day was when Munoz came out and did that.
David West did the same thing in Game 1 in that series. Backhand out of play. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Kelly. He'll be followed by Boone and Oliver. Well, those Rockies got rained out today. They'll be at Veterans Stadium tomorrow for the Phillies home opener at 2:05. Marvin Freeman was scheduled to work for them today, so his turn will be bypassed. Out in the right center field area, Dykstra calls, and Lenny catches. Kelly is out, 1 down.
Jeff Juden just made a good pitch on Roberto Kelly. And he's getting the ball down on the strike zone a little bit now. Looks like he's following through and finishing his pitches, where in the first inning he was feeling for everything. He was just kind of throwing the ball, had no idea where it was going.
In the first, Brett Boone singled and stole a base.
On an 0-2 pitch. See,
That's
he's
in for a
down.
strike.
Those pitches, those fastballs are down, and that's because you can see his arm really coming through now, and he's driving into his pitches.
Big guy, he's 6'8", so when he really gets behind him, he can throw hard.
Yeah, and he has to use his legs and really follow through with his pitches to get the ball down. And he has tremendous leverage when he has good mechanics.
And Boone's got that big swing. That pitch was down. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes on Boone. Boone has some power. Even though you look at his body, you don't think he's a big guy. Last year combined between Seattle and Calgary, he had 20 homers, 94 runs batted in, and 30 doubles. Juden gets his first strikeout of the afternoon. Business person special coming up against the Dodgers on Tuesday the 19th, a 1:05 start. Always great to get out in the middle of the week and see baseball under the sun. The business person specials are a hot ticket, so make your plans in advance. Call 463-1000. See the Phillies and the Dodgers Tuesday the 19th. Joe Oliver swings through a pitch.
Those games are going to begin, as you said, at 1:05 this year as opposed to 12:35 in the past.
Players think that's going to make a big difference, an extra half hour.
The players, yeah, they wanted it a little bit later if at all possible, and the Phillies said fine.
Foul tip, and it's 0-2 on Oliver, who grounded out to short his first time up. Off the right side, out of play.
Juden's in pretty good groove right now. It's hard to believe this is the same guy who started the way that he did. He was so close to being out of this game in the first inning.
Sure, they had Mike Williams up in the bullpen, and patience was running thin in the dugout. Bounces, 1 ball and 2 strikes.
That was a breaking ball that he just held on to too long. He's trying to make a real good pitch down and away, and he wound up bouncing it.
Oliver just got a piece of that, 1 and 2. You know, the Reds have only 3 hits today. They got them consecutively back in the first inning, but they've gotten none since. Juden has retired 11 straight batters. Here's a ground ball for Stocker. Kevin's throw is in time, and another 1-2-3 inning. We finished 4 this afternoon. Phillies lead the Reds 5-4.
Lean on me when you're not strong, and I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on. You just call on me, brother, when you need a hand. We all need somebody to lean on.
Lean on number 1, Independence Blue Cross and Pennsylvania Blue Shield.
It's a round world, genuine and true. It keeps on spinning and you always come through. And you're giving it your best. Proud to be your bud. Budweiser. Proud to be your bud.
Baseball is back. And you can play it anytime, any place. Introducing Doubleheader from the Pennsylvania Lottery. Just scratch off 9 innings, beat the other team's score, and win up to 1,000 instantly. Best of all, you get 2 games for the price of 1. Doubleheader from the Pennsylvania Lottery.
Here's how they scored. A lot of it coming in the first inning. The Phillies went base hit, and then a 3-run home run by Darren Dalton. In the bottom of the first inning, Juden walked the bases loaded. Mitchell scored a run with a double play ball, then RBI hits by Sanders and Kelly, and then Juden balked in a run, and the Reds were up 4-3. Phillies took the lead in the 4th inning when they got a run on a wild pitch by Hansen, and then Jeff Juden singled to left to knock in the 5th run of the ball game and put the Phillies ahead 5-4. That's where we stand, Andy, heading into the 5th inning.
Okay, Wheels, and here's the top of the order to come around and try to add to it. Lenny Dykstra will lead it off. Lenny is 1 for 2 today. Got a hard infield single first time up, and then was on base when Dalton hit that 3-run homer. Last time he grounded out to Morris.
Morris robbed him of a hit his last time up.
Catches the inside corner for a strike. Yesterday was one of those rare games where Lenny was not on base. 4 times up and did not reach. Back through the middle, base hit for Dykstra, and the inning is underway as Lenny leads off with a single.
Lenny had 2 very un-Lenny-like games in this series. Today he really looks locked in. He's having good at-bats. He's hit the ball hard 3 times, and he looks like he's really playing his game today. That was a fastball away, and he just hit it right back through the middle.
Hit number 7 in the game for the Phillies, and Mariano Duncan. Duncan off to a great start. He's batting at .364 right now, 1 for 2 today. Lenny has a pair of stolen bases, has not been caught. Everybody was worried about the fact that Lenny wasn't doing much in spring training, but if it happens again next year, not to worry. That's Lenny.
Well, he's not going to steal bases in spring training either. Lenny doesn't like spring training. I mean, Lenny Dykstra's the kind of person that has to count for him to really get focused and really get into something. I mean, he likes action, and this counts. So all of us, so he's going to play well. But spring training, he's never going to be a good spring training player.
And yet he's one of the most eager guys to get there and get it going. I mean, Lenny's always anxious for the next thing to happen.
Well, Lenny has a lot of childlike qualities about him, and I think he's very impatient. Boy, what a player he is.
There's a pitch out, but Lenny was not going.
Phillies don't run a whole lot or play hit and run a whole lot. Jim Fregosi just doesn't feel that he has that type of baseball team. They score a lot of runs by walking and by having big innings, home runs, extra base hits. You're not going to see them run a whole lot.
It was a curveball hit deep to left field, fair or foul, foul ball. Duncan just missed a 2-run home run. Hansen's curveball was hittable.
Right, it was sitting up there waiting for him to hit it, and it was hooking the whole time, and it just went foul. There you see it. Looked for a while like it might catch the screen on the way out, but it just kept on going foul.
1 ball and 2 strikes on Mariano Duncan. Nobody out in the inning.
Shows you how strong Duncan is, too, once in a while. Mariano's not a home run hitter, but he can hit some homers.
Called out on strikes. That's a pitcher's pitch. Perfect pitch.
Yeah, he made a great pitch on him. Duncan thought he was going to get something middle in again, and that's where he's looking, and Hansen goes with a fastball outside corner. Perfect pitch.
Strikeout number 5 for Hansen, who gets the first out of the inning and now must face Darren Dalton. He struck him out last time, but Darren had a 3-run home run in his first time up today. close, but it missed. Dalton's home run went to dead center field, just a little bit to the left of straightaway center, a line drive that just cleared the yellow line. Dykstra safe. And Dalton today occupying the number 3 spot in the batting order. That spot normally filled by John Kruk, and we'll see whether John's going to be available tomorrow or not. The Phillies have a decision to make on that. John will be at the ballpark tomorrow, that's for sure, though.
It's not a running situation for Lenny Dykstra because of Dalton being the batter, and they want to leave the hole for him, especially with 1 out, and you might be able to get a first and third out of it. That big hole on the right side for Dalton, and this guy's an off-speed pitcher. So Dalton might get a pitch he can hook right in the hole and get Dykstra over to third.
Low and inside. 2 balls and a strike on Darren. Eric Hansen making his National League debut. He was supposed to pitch against St. Louis last Wednesday, but they scratched him because of the flu. Hit hard and a base hit. Didn't go to the right side, but Dykstra's gone to third anyway. How about that? Dalton has his 2nd hit of the ball game, and the Phillies get their 1st and 3rd.
Well, Lenny that made a good base running play. You know, a lot of teams will run on Lenny because he doesn't throw all that well. Well, Mitchell can't throw very well from left field. So even though this ball's hit hard, Dykstra's not running, and it's hit hard at Mitchell. Dykstra sees that Mitchell was not real aggressive at it on that wet turf, and he knows that he's not going to probably have a chance to throw him out, so he gets to third. Very good base running play by Lenny Dykstra. See Mitchell lay back on it. That's what a base runner looks for.
So here's Dave Hollins in an RBI situation. 1st and 3rd, 1 out. Dave is 0 for 2 today. Holds the swing but takes a called strike, and Dave doesn't think so. Phillies are ahead 5-4, trying to add to it in the 5th. Reds infield playing for 2. Hollins swings through a pitch. 0-2 on Dave.
Another off-speed pitch from Eric Hansen. It was a changeup. You see Dave Hollins was way out in front of it. He has pretty good motion with his changeup because he's kind of funky.
Fastball, and it hit him. Dave, you know, with him you never know because he doesn't move an inch. I mean, most batters will give you a reaction. He gives you none, and the bases are loaded.
Now Davey Johnson's annoyed, as many managers are, want to know, hey, he didn't move. He didn't try to get out of the way.
Never does.
So you could hear him just yell at Eddie Montague about that he didn't move. He gave no attempt to get out of the way. Here it is. Hansen just trying to come inside. Hits him right on the tricep.
He probably didn't even feel it. So the bases are loaded with Phillies for Pete Incaviglia. Inky got a broken bat hit last inning, and that led to the Phillies getting what at that time was the tying run. Pop foul, back out of play. Looked like the Reds are going to get some bullpen action here, Wheels.
Chuck McElroy is wandering down there.
And I believe he's going to start to throw, and here's a visit to the mound right now.
Pitching coach is Don Gullett. And Phillies fans remember Don Gullett from the Big Red Machine of the 70s. Boy, was he a tough left-handed pitcher. Pitched game number 1 of the League Championship Series in '76 against the Phillies. Later went on to the Yankees and got hurt with New York and was never the same pitcher after that. There's Chuck McElroy, who was in the Phillies system at one time.
Indeed, he was traded for the Wild Thing. Eve of the season 3 years ago.
It's ironic, but the 3 players in that deal, none of them are with their teams anymore. Bob Scanlon is now with Milwaukee.
Right.
And McElroy is here, and of course Mitch is with Houston.
Let's pause here for station identification, the Phillies Television Network.
You're watching Phillies baseball on WPHL TV, Philadelphia.
Incaviglia pops one up. It's foul, and there will be no room for Oliver to come back. No balls and 2 strikes on Incaviglia, batting with the bases loaded and 1 out.
Hansen's gotten ahead of 2 hitters now, 0-2, but then he hit Hollins. Now he's ahead of Incaviglia, 0-2.
I think a hitter has to feel a little pressure when he's up there with a runner at third, less than 2 out. You know, the run is supposed to be driven home. Easier said than done. That's the second time that Incaviglia has struck out.
And he got him to chase a high fastball for the second time. Set him up with off-speed stuff to get ahead, then throws the high fastball and he chases it.
So now there are 2 outs in the inning. It's up to Jim Eisenreich to get something out of this bases loaded spot here. Eisenreich singled, and Eisenreich scored the go-ahead run on Jeff Juden's single last inning. High, a ball.
One of the things the Phillies did really well last year was pick each other up.
And actually, they've done that quite a few times already this young season. Coming into the ball game today, Phillies pitchers were hitting .364, and actually that's been helped because Juden's 1 for 2 today. They haven't all been pretty, but they've all counted.
Yeah, like Schilling's hits yesterday.
Schilling was chirping on the bus coming out today about that bunt he got. Stopped by Hansen. What a stop. That was headed up the middle. Phillies in the 5th. No runs, 2 hits, bases left loaded. Phillies lead it 5-4.
It's back. It's better. It's the 3rd annual Great American Ford Sales Event at your Quality Plus Ford dealer with a great deal on America's #1 truck. Drive an F-150 for just $229 per month, the lowest payment of the year. Now with a driver's side airbag standard. See your Quality Plus Ford dealer and test drive the all-new Windstar and receive 12 movie rentals from Blockbuster Video. See your local newspaper for all details. Hurry, your Quality Plus Ford dealer's Great American Sales Event ends soon.
It started with an idea that has now won the prestigious Thomas Edison Patent Award, which annually recognizes major innovations in technology. The award was won by Exxon for a gasoline additive that removes deposits for a cleaner engine, reduces emissions for cleaner air, and improves performance. Next time you fill up, rely on the award-winning gasolines from Exxon.
Any mulching mower can chop up grass, but the Honda Harmony lawnmower has an exclusive twin blade that cuts grass into fine particles and returns them to your lawn as fertilizer. There's no need to bag or dump clippings, and you get a better end result. The Honda Harmony mulching mower. Nothing's easier. For a free video, call 1-800-MULCH-21.
Today's game is brought to you by the AT&T Business Advantage. Let it work for you. The Yellow Pages, 9 out of 10 people use the genuine Bell Atlantic Yellow Pages. And by your Philadelphia Mazda dealer. Reds are going to go out here and pinch hit for their pitcher Eric Hansen at this point. They're going to send Lenny Harris out to bat.
A couple of Phillies fans here at the ballpark. They said before the game that they wanted Hansen to throw about 100 pitches because, as we mentioned earlier, Andy, he had what, a flexor problem with his shoulder, I think. And then he was out with the flu. So he really hasn't pitched that much for the Reds. So they get 5 innings out of him. They're going to take him out of here.
He threw 80 pitches in the ball game. Here's the 29-year-old left-handed batting infielder Harris. Harris does not have a hit so far this year. No hits in 2 at-bats.
His spot hadn't come up in the batting order in this inning. Maybe they would have let him go one more.
Harris was with the Dodgers last year. He hit .238 in Los Angeles with 2 homers and 11 runs batted in.
Looks like we're going to see Pete Sherrick as you look at Hansen there on the bench after his first National League appearance.
Yeah, the Reds just acquired Sherrick from the New York Mets the first day the Phillies arrived in town. Back past the mound, fielded there by Morandini, and Harris is out. 1 down in the 5th. That's 11 in a row retired by Jeff Juden after that rocky first inning.
Davey Johnson, Ed Montague, and Hansen were in a rather animated discussion between innings, and that probably stemmed from Hollins not moving out of the way or attempting to move out of the way of that pitch. And they were voicing their displeasure to Montague, who you just saw there.
Tony Fernandez has walked and flied to right.
There it is. And Hansen wants to know, well, don't they have to move in this league?
Well, that is the rule, isn't it? I mean, officially, you're supposed to try to get out of the way of a pitch.
Right. Make some effort.
I think the other side of the coin, though, is that a batter is saying, well, now I'm in my stance. If he throws at me and hits me in my stance, I'm not moving into the pitch. I'm just in my stance. That's my part of the plate.
You don't see many guys standing there.
No, you don't. In fact, he's the only one that I can think of that doesn't move a muscle.
Yeah. That caused that fight at Veterans Stadium a couple years ago when that happened with Scanlon. And then Scanlon threw at Dave Hollins the next time up.
Strike 2 called. It's a full count now on Fernandez trying to beg his way on as he did in the first inning. Juden walked the bases loaded in the first. No walks since. On the ground to shortstop. Stocker over in time, and Fernandez is out.
Pretty good job by Juden to come back from 3-0.
12 in a row retired by Juden. Barry Larkin has walked and grounded to second base. The way Juden was throwing in the first inning today, what would have been the odds that he would then go on and work 3 successive 1, 2, 3 innings following and into a 4th? I mean, really.
Not good.
Not good. Not likely. So it's obvious that he was nervous at the outset. And there's no surprise about that. 1-1 on Larkin, who got the big hit here Friday night to win the game in the 10th inning for Cincinnati. Calling the big dog here. I always thought that was supposed to be reserved for Shotzi 0-2.
Or Glenn Robinson.
Yeah. Grounded up the middle, but there is Morandini. He makes the play, and that's 13 in a row retired by Juden. At the end of 5, it's 5-4 Phillies.
On April 22nd, somewhere in the desert, nuclear arms are going to be tested. Budweiser presents Evander Holyfield, heavyweight champion versus Michael Moorer, the #1 contender. Live from Caesars Palace, only on pay-per-view. Call your local cable operator to order. Find a television and take shelter.
The Phillies try to make the Reds run up a white surrender flag Friday, April 15th at 7:35. And again Saturday at 7:05 when fans 14 and under receive a free photo ball baseball featuring different National League champion Phillies players. And Sunday, April 17th at 1:35 when kids 14 and under receive a free keychain with a replica of the Phillies National League championship ring. Reserve your tickets in advance. Call 463-1000 now.
Look at the '94 Ford Ranger. Looks Looks a lot like the 93. Well, the 93 was a good truck. Yeah, in 93. But this Chevy's an all-new design with more horsepower and more head and shoulder room with a cargo bed that's deeper and wider than the Ranger. Ford's got to have something the new Chevy doesn't. It does. A higher price. That Ranger's about $500 more. That's it. I'm going to his local Chevy Geo dealer. To save $500, it's worth comparing. Go see for yourself at your local Chevy Geo dealer.
Sunday, May 1st, the Phillies and the Giants at 1:35. It's another birthday celebration for the Fanatic, and all children 14 and under receive a terrific cap featuring the Fanatic on the front, compliments of tasty cakes. Make sure that you make your plans early to come out for this always festive day. Get your tickets easily by phone by calling the Phillies at 463-1000. Pete Shurik makes his Cincinnati debut now. The left-hander takes over here in the 6th inning with the Phillies holding a 5-4 lead. And this is what Shurik did last year. He was a member of the New York Mets. Those numbers, of course, are not impressive in any way. And actually, according to what we read in the paper, the Reds scouted him off what he did the year before because he had a bad spring, too. He was a 7.91 earned run average this spring for New York.
They also desperately needed another left-handed pitcher. So when he became available on the waiver wires, they claimed him, and he's over here now.
Morandini will lead off the inning for the Phillies. Morandini, Stocker, and Juden. You think Juden will be up there left-handed again?
I can't wait to see.
Well, he got an RBI hit that way last time up. Morandini takes it low, a ball. Shurik is 24 years of age, out of Austin, Texas. That earned run average for him last year with the New York Mets, 5.96, was the highest in Mets history for a pitcher who worked at least 100 innings.
Phillies talked to the Mets a little bit during the offseason. They were interested in Ricky Jordan at one time, and Shurik's name came up, but the Phillies did not want to trade Jordan for Shurik.
Shurik runs a 3-1 count on the first hitter. Shurik is 6'5", 205 pounds. Morandini 0 for 2 today, ground ball and fly ball. He walked him. Morandini draws a walk. That's the first legitimate walk in the game. The Reds walked Stocker intentionally in the 4th. That was the only batter that Hansen walked. Now Stocker will bat right-handed. Stocker has popped up and received that intentional walk.
This would only be a bunt situation with Stocker if you were going to hit for Juden, and the Phillies obviously will not hit for Juden here, so Stocker will be trying to get on some other way and not bunting or giving himself up.
Shurik having a little trouble of his own finding the strike zone here. Ball and a strike on Stocker. We've been lucky that the rain has stayed away here this afternoon. They've been calling for quite a bit of rain here in the Cincinnati area today, and we did have considerable rain this morning. 2-1.
See Oliver react to his breaking ball. Then you're dealing with a situation where catcher and pitcher are new to each other, and he doesn't really know the movement, and the movement on that slider almost fooled Oliver. He almost didn't catch it. Broke a little more than he thought it was going to.
Normally when you get a new pitcher, you work with him on the side, but just getting him Friday, I'm sure they didn't have time to work together. Two balls and 2 strikes on Stocker. Phillies batting in the 6th. They're ahead 5-4.
Juden is taking his swings down there in the on-deck circle right-handed. His practice swings.
Well, that must be the answer. Runner left early. Here's Morris's throw. He's a dead duck, is Morandini. Larkin takes the throw.
Ordini's trying to make something happen there and steal a base on his own, but Schurik senses it, throws over there. Morris made a perfect throw to Larkin, and they nail him.
And there's the advantage of having that left-handed first baseman. He gets the angle on the throw automatically. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Stockard.
Fielded by John Vukovic.
Slick fielding third baseman for the Reds at one point.
That's right.
In fact, the year that John played more games than any other was here in Cincinnati.
It was the year that he was supposed to be their everyday third baseman. They wound up making Rose a third baseman and Foster an outfielder.
Right down the right field line, out of play.
Vuk really made George Foster's career because they were trying to find a place to play George Foster back in those days. And John started the season as a third baseman, and then Rose came in from the outfield, played third. Vuk went to the bench, and Foster played the outfield and became a most valuable player.
Foster went on to have a 52 home run year.
Yep.
Look out, that had him ducking. Mariano Duncan was ducking down behind the screen. Atlanta out in front again. They got 2 in the first at Los Angeles. Dodgers now batting 2-0 Braves. Think they'll lose a game, Wheels?
Glavine and Hershiser today.
In the air to Foster, or to, listen, you got me talking. Mitchell. Stockard to Mitchell. Well, he looks a little like him, doesn't he?
Well, they both have great power, that's for sure.
Boy, they sure do, or did, in the case of Foster. Now Jeff Juden, and he will bat right-handed. Base is empty, 2 away. Juden has struck out and got an RBI single to left. Phillies pitchers this year are 5 for 13.
Ryan Klesko has a home run. So that's how Atlanta got ahead in that game.
Ball and a strike on Juden. Phillies lead 5-4, but how about the hit total? Phillies 8, Reds 3. All 3 of those Reds hits in the first inning.
Hey, Juden has a bat up there as if he thinks he can hit. And he's got pine tar all over it. There's nicks on it. That's not one of those pristine bats you see a pitcher take up there a lot of times.
Curveball got him looking. So Schurik, despite the walk, walks a 1-2-3 inning. And we go to the bottom of the 6th, 5-4 Phillies.
You can't use a mobile phone to say,
Okay, we're ready to sign a contract.
You can't use a mobile phone to whisper.
Daddy misses you too, sweetheart.
A mobile phone will not let you send.
Here comes the fax.
And it will not let you hear.
The meeting's been changed.
Unless
Hello?
the call goes through. A mobile phone is only as good as the system it's on. Choose Bell Atlantic Mobile.
Buick, the symbol for quality, is bringing America home.
What does it take to be #1? Start with exceptional cars at sensible prices, like the value price Buick LeSabre, just $19,995, and the family size Century, just $14,995. Both have been named best overall values by IntelliChoice, and both have been ranked #1. LeSabre for sales, Century for safety.
Buick, the symbol for quality.
There it is. The bus.
The new feel of basketball, running, and cross-training shoes. No matter where you look, they're only at Foot Locker.
Yes, got it. Hey, not the billboard. Awesome.
The new feel of running, cross-training, and basketball shoes. No matter where you see them, you'll only get them at Foot Locker.
Hope the pet store's hiring.
Phillies baseball brought to you by Budweiser, Beechwood aged for a crisp, clean, classic taste. Bell Atlantic Mobile, a mobile phone is only as good as the system it's on. Choose Bell Atlantic Mobile. Andy Musser with Chris Wheeler. We move to the bottom half of the 6th inning, and the Phillies have a 5-4 lead. Turned out to be not that bad a day here in Cincinnati today. Reds fans look a little bit bored right now. They've been accustomed to success in the first couple of games of this series. Jeff Juden has been mowing them down. 13 in a row retired by Jeff since a rocky first inning. Got the middle of the lineup here. The 3, 4, 5 hitters, Morris, Mitchell, and Sanders. Morris has walked and grounded to short. Morris did not take the bat off his shoulders in the first inning when he drew a 4-pitch walk. Here's a ball hit to Incaviglia. Over his head. Gets by him on the bounce. Morris to second base with a double. First hit for the Reds since the opening inning.
Now Morris looks for the ball away, and he got one away, and he really drove this one. Incaviglia got a little bit close to the wall here. It was a breaking pitch, and you can see he thinks he has a chance to catch it. Now he gets close to the wall, and the ball caroms past him. And when it does that, it allowed Morris to go to second. Might have gotten to second anyway, although Incaviglia is a pretty good arm. He might have been able to hold him to a long single as hard as Morris hit that.
Batter is Mitchell. He has grounded to short twice. One of them was a double play ball. Fouls it back.
Slocum's starting to warm up for the Phillies now. Morris has a huge lead off second. Not a guy who necessarily is going to run, but Juden needs to at least look at him. Keep him a little bit closer because they ran on him back in that first inning.
There's Heathcliff loosening in a hurry. Second time the Phillies have had bullpen action. Back in the first inning they had Mike Williams up. Now Juden glances back. Catches the corner with that pitch. Mitchell does not like it.
Mitchell stands close to the plate, not as close as he used to, and he thinks his ball's outside, and he's right, it was.
Swing and a miss. Mitchell strikes out. Juden's second strikeout. First out of the inning.
Fooled him with a breaking ball.
Yes.
Really off-speeded him that time. See, Mitchell's pulling off a little bit. Juden, I don't think, wants that ball that far inside. Darren Dalton was trying to reach for it before it got there. But he got Mitchell to swing through it.
In steps Reggie Sanders. He is 1 for 2 today. RBI single in the first. Lined out to Incaviglia to end the third.
Nicky Morandini moving in to keep Morris a little closer at second.
Sanders takes outside, ball 1. Sanders, a guy who has all the tools, can run, throw, field, hit for power, and hit for average. His average right now, 350. Inside, ball 2. When Sanders first came up, they had him playing center field. He didn't seem particularly comfortable there, and he seems a lot more at ease in right field. 78 pitches for Juden, but 35 of them came in the first inning.
That's where he has to be careful now, because Reggie Sanders is going to sit on a 2-0 fastball here to drive.
Right down the middle. 2-1.
I think Reggie probably, Andy, was looking for a middle in location, which was good discipline for him there because the ball was away from him. Stands way off the plate and really goes into the pitch.
And that one catches the corner. Juden's starting to get some calls now, which can only help him.
Yeah, he would have never gotten those pitches in the first inning when he was all over the place. But now Montague is starting to give him the outside part of the plate. He's expanded his strike zone. You know, that's maybe outside also, but he is starting to get those pitches.
Marvin Freeman celebrating a birthday today. Marvin's 31. Ball 3.
Good idea. I mean, they went away from him quite a bit and then tried to come back inside, but he just missed inside.
Full count here on Sanders. The Reds have the tying run at second base. Phillies lead 5-4. Sanders hits it to left. Incaviglia is there. That ball was really sinking on him at the last minute, wasn't it? Oh. Sanders has lined out for the second out of the inning, and that was kind of scary.
That was a high pitch, and he tomahawked it a little bit, and it had topspin. Incaviglia thought this ball was a riser, and it was a sinker.
Ooh.
And he barely caught it. I don't know how he caught that ball, because he ran past it, and it had all that sink coming down on it.
Well, there are 2 outs. And Roberto Kelly will bat. 1 for 2 today. RBI single in the first. Morris doubled to lead off the inning. He's still at second. There's a strike. One thing, Juden was starting everybody with ball 1 early, and now he's coming back with strike 1.
With his fastball and his breaking ball.
Runner Morris was well off second. Dalton almost threw.
Morris read that pitch that Dalton was not going to handle it, and he was going to get to third.
Reds did a little running early. They stole 3 bases in the first inning today.
Juden had about everything you can imagine go wrong in that first inning.
He did everything wrong except commit an error. He balked. Up through the middle, base hit. Morris is going to score the tying run of the game. It's a 5-5 game on a single by Roberto Kelly.
Breaking ball looked like up and out over the plate. Here comes Fregosi. And probably make a pitching chase. See, there's a high slider, and Roberto Kelly hits it back through the middle. With Kelly a base stealing threat, Andy, I think they'll probably make a change here now because they don't want Kelly stealing a base and getting into scoring position.
The hitter will be Brett Boone. By the way, Gene Dias just gave us some word on John Kruk. Will give it to us when we get back. Right now we're going to make a pause here for a pitching change in a 5-5 game. We'll be right back.
Lean on me when you're not strong, and I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on, for it won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody to lean on.
Lean on number 1, Independence Blue Cross and Pennsylvania Blue Shield.
The gutsy, gritty, go-for-broke Philadelphia Phillies take on the always colorful Tommy Lasorda and the Los Angeles Dodgers Monday, April 18th at 7:35. Then again Tuesday, April 19th at 1:05 in the first of 6 business person specials. Come on, all you dudes and dudesses. Come back for more in 94. Order your tickets in advance now. Call 463-1000. That's 463-1000.
Travel arranged through U.S. Air, offering daily nonstop service between Philadelphia and Mexico City. Nonstop to Mexico City. U.S. Air begins with you. Juden out of the ball game now. Juden cannot win the game. He could conceivably be the loser if Heathcliff Slocum can't hold him down here. The Reds have a runner at first with 2 outs. As Slocum makes his 3rd appearance. Heathcliff won 2 ball games in the series at Colorado and has not given up a run in an inning and 2/3. Slocum acquired from the Cleveland Indians during the offseason for Ruben Amaro Jr. Slocum, 27 years of age, from Jamaica, New York. Talking about those quotes from John Kruk, he went 0 for 3 today, playing 4 innings in light rain at Reading without any physical problems. John said after the game, "I think I'm ready for tomorrow. We'll have a discussion." Runner goes. Ball hit in the air to center. Charging is Dykstra. Can't get it, and the ball bounces past him. Here comes Kelly to score, and the Reds lead the ball game.
He got a late start on that ball, and then it hit the wet turf and just skipped right by Lenny Dykstra. It looked like he got a little leather on it. See how they score it. Boone hits it right off the end of the bat, and Dykstra broke back a little bit. Now he comes on in that wet turf, skidded right past him, was really backed up nicely by Incaviglia.
Single and an error on Dykstra. Single and an error. No RBI on the play. Reds take a 6-5 lead. Joe Oliver, the batter now. And talking again about John Kruk, he said, I think I'll be ready for tomorrow. We'll have a discussion with Lee and Jim as the intentional walk comes up here. He says, the only thing right now is that my legs are a little stiff, but I felt like this after 3 days in spring training, he said. I guess right now I'm day to day. I'll stay with the club from now on, but it's up to them to activate me. They've already told me that they're not going to activate me to sit on the bench.
Later in the game now, the Phillies down by a run. They're going to walk the 8-hole hitter, and Howard's going to come out and bat for Shurik. Howard's a switch hitter.
And Howard was in the starting lineup yesterday for Cincinnati and reached base 3 times, twice on singles and once on a walk. Thomas Howard. According to Davey Johnson, talking with him before the ballgame, he said Howard had a tremendous spring for Cincinnati. And Davey's been looking for spots to use Thomas Howard as frequently as he can. Well, Pete Shurik in his debut did a nice job for the Reds, worked 1 shutout inning. Thomas Howard batting at .400, 2 hits and 5 at-bats.
And the Phillies with left-handed hitters coming up. In the 7th, it's going to be McElroy coming in for the Reds.
Incidentally, tomorrow, Lee Thomas, Jim Fregosi, and Kruk and Dr. Philip Barone will sit down tomorrow morning and make a decision as to when Kruk will be activated. Kruk has treatment tomorrow at 8 o'clock in the morning. No balls and 2 strikes on pinch hitter Thomas Howard. As of now, this is an unearned run for the Reds.
Yeah, they've gotten both their runs with 2 outs, too, after it looked like Juden might get out of this inning.
Howard strikes out to end the inning. But the Reds come on to take the lead now with 2 in the inning. One of them will be unearned. 3 hits, 1 error, and 2 men left on base. Harry Callis and Rich Ashburn return in the 7th. It's 6-5 Cincy.
I finally made it to the big leagues. And my first game, we get the call. And I'm thinking, how lucky can a guy get?
Beechwood aged for that fresh, distinctive taste. Crisp, clean, classic.
It's back. It's better. It's the 3rd annual Great American Ford Sales Event at your Quality Plus Ford dealer. With great savings on America's #1 compact pickup. For just $199 per month, drive a loaded Ford Ranger. Sporty, versatile, and fun to drive. Ranger beats the competition in quality. See your Quality Plus Ford dealer and test drive the all-new Windstar. And receive 12 movie rentals from Blockbuster Video. See your local newspaper for all details. Hurry, your Quality Plus Ford dealer's Great American Sales Event ends soon.
There's no one else on the field like him. I hear he's a big milk drinker. I can tell. That energy, and that strength, that body. Forget it, girls. He's taken.
Milk, whole, low fat or non-fat. It does a body good.
Want a keychain and a replica of the Phillies National League Championship ring? If you're 14 and under, you can get one free thanks to Subway. When the Phillies ring-a-ding the Reds, Sunday, April 17th at 1:35. Free keychain and ring. Call 463-1000.
After 6 innings of play, it's Cincinnati 6 and the Phils 5. Be here Thursday at 7:30 for the Flyers season finale. It's the Flyers against the New York Rangers, only on PHL 17.
Chuck McElroy, the new pitcher for Davey Johnson. Here in the 7th inning with the Reds leading at 6-5. Lenny Dykstra is 2 for 3 this afternoon. One ball and 2 strikes to Dykstra. Chuck McElroy appearing in his 3rd game, 1 inning of work, 2 strikeouts and 1 walk. He has not given up a hit or a run so far this season. A little bit high. It's 2-2. Pete Sherrick working 1 inning in his first appearance in a Reds uniform. No hits and no runs and a strikeout and a walk. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Lenny Dykstra. Beats the ball on the ground. It's a fair ball, and Al Morris will make the play himself. So Dykstra's retired 1 down. That'll bring up Mariano Duncan. Duncan has singled line to right, and he has struck out. Chases the high pitch. 1 strike to Duncan. Missing a little bit wide. 1-1. Duncan lifetime against McElroy is 2 out of 6. Fouls it out of play. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Outside, it's 2-2.
McElroy has a good fastball and a pretty good slider. He doesn't throw much else, but he throws them hard and decent control.
Got Duncan with an off-speed pitch. That's 2 down.
It's kind of a long slider or a short curve, whatever it was. It fooled Duncan. That's almost a curveball. Dropped low.
Yep. Backdoor breaking ball. And here's Darren Dalton. He's hit a 3-run homer, has struck out and singled. Two quick strikes to Dutch Dalton. Dalton just 1 for 12 lifetime against McElroy. Struck him out. 2 strikeouts in the inning for McElroy. Phillies are down and turn in the 7th. No runs, hits, errors, and none left. Stretch time at Riverfront. We go to the bottom of the 7th. Cincinnati leads the Phils 6-5.
On the next Cobra,
She is easily the 2nd greatest cat burglar on Earth.
a series of jewel heists
put scandal between a rock and a hard place.
He kidnapped my father to get me to steal fakes?
It's his idea of insurance fraud.
Now he's developing a soft spot for the master thief.
You're an expensive date. It's our first one, and I'm already getting you diamonds.
Cobra.
Tonight at 6 on PHL 17.
The new Ram pickup features a frame design so strong it's been patented. Its available rear step bumper can pull 5,000 pounds by itself without the help of that frame. And the tie-downs in back are so strong they can support the weight of the entire truck. We overbuilt this pickup because we were sure you'd never underwork it. New Dodge Ram.
Motor Trend's Truck of the Year. See it at your nearest Dodge dealer.
Any mulching mower can chop up grass. But the Honda Harmony lawnmower has an exclusive twin blade that cuts grass into fine particles and returns them to your lawn as fertilizer. There's no need to bag or dump clippings. And you get a better end result. The Honda Harmony mulching mower. Nothing's easier. For a free video, call 1-800-MULCH-21.
Hi, I'm Dick Vermeil with the Blue Cross Blue Shield Health Tip. When should you buy your baby's first toothbrush? As soon as the baby's teeth appear, your child is ready for his or her first toothbrush. Skip the toothpaste at first. The foaming action is uncomfortable for infants.
Here's our Chevrolet game summary. Darren Dalton's 3-run homer in the first had the Phillies off and running, but Jeff Juden walked 3 batters in a row to lead off the game. He wound up balking in a run also in that first inning. Cincinnati leading there 4-3. Phillies regained the lead on 2 runs in the fourth on a wild pitch and an RBI single, and 3 hits and a Dykstra error put the Reds back in the lead in the 6th.
Now it's 6-5 Cincinnati here in the bottom of the 7th as Tony Fernandez leads it off and breaks his bat, hits a ground ball to deep short. Stocker bounces the throw but didn't get it. Infield single for Tony Fernandez.
Just barely beat this ball. Stocker had to go over in the hole. He tried bouncing the throw over there, kind of an off-balance throw. Made it very close. I think he did have it.
Yep. I think it was accurately called by Charlie Williams. Yep. And the batter will be Barry Larkin, who has walked and twice grounded out. Slocum's given up 3 hits since coming on. None of them hit particularly hard, but costly hits. 1 ball and no strikes to Larkin. Low 2-0. Like to play hit and run with Larkin, so Larkin looking down at Ray Knight, his third base coach. There goes the runner. It was hit and run. Strong throw by Dalton right on the money. Fernandez got a pretty good jump too, but just a great throw by Darren Dalton to Kevin Stocker for out number 1.
This is a perfect throw, and he really had some mustard on it right down there where he could make the tag.
Wow, that's just a great throw. 2 balls and a strike to Barry Larkin. Good fastball. 2-2.
Slocum is not an easy pitcher to hit and run on because his ball has so much movement on it.
Just spoils a pitch, fouls it off down the first base side. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Barry Larkin. Checked on a low slider, a full count. Still 3-2 to Larkin. His average as he stands in there at the plate is 100.
2 for 20. One of those hits was a game winner in this series. First game.
Friday night in the 10th inning. Lofted in the air to center, not real deep. Lenny Dykstra makes the grab. That's 2 down, and that'll bring up Hal Morris. Morris has walked, grounded out, and doubled. One ball and no strikes to Hal Morris. One and one. Ball and 2 strikes. Make it 2-2. Heathcliff Slocum came in the 6th inning. Ground ball hit to Mickey Moore and Beatty. Morris retired. So are the Reds in the 7th. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and none left. We go to the 8th inning. Cincinnati leads the Phils 6-5.
It's a round world, genuine and true. It keeps on spinning and you always come through. And you're giving it your best. Proud to be your bud. Budweiser. Proud to be your bud. Proud to be your bud. Ooh, yeah. Proud to be your. Proud to be your bud.
It's back. It's better. It's the 3rd annual Great American Ford Sales Event at your Quality Plus Ford dealer with a great deal on America's #1 truck. Drive an F-150 for just $229 per month, the lowest payment of the year. Now with a driver's side airbag standard. See your Quality Plus Ford dealer and test drive the all-new Windstar and receive 12 movie rentals from Blockbuster Video. See your local newspaper for all details. Hurry, your Quality Plus Ford dealer's Great American Sales Event ends soon.
Bill Snodgrass is out there, yet his dog sled tours are off and running.
Hi, this is Bill from Washington Outfitting.
He relies on AT&T to connect with his customers. The most reliable long-distance service is his AT&T Business Advantage. You see, where Bill does business, dependable long-distance service is a matter of survival.
AT&T works for me.
Let AT&T work for you.
Today's Phillies game on PHL 17 is brought to you in part by a winning team, the championship Phillies, and the award-winning lineup of new cars and trucks at your local Dodge dealer. And by Pico Energy. There's a new kind of energy around here, Pico Energy. Dave Hollins leads it off for the Phils 8th inning. He's grounded out, struck out, and been hit by a pitch ball. 1 strike. McElroy in his 2nd inning. In relief of Pete Schurig. One ball and 1 strike. Collins is 2 for 5 lifetime against this 26-year-old left-hander. Fouls it out of play, 1-2. Foul back up and just below us. Thomas Howard, after pinch hitting, stayed in the game. You take Kevin Mitchell's place in left field. He'll bat where he pinch hit in the 9 spot. McElroy batting in the 4 spot. One ball and 2 strikes. Collins lays off the high pitch. It's 2-2. Ooh. A little bit high, full count.
He'd swung at a couple of those right about where that pitch was.
Hard ground ball, but at Larkin. And he retires Hollins. That's one down here in the 8th. It'll bring up Pete Incaviglia.
He just swung at another one. That was a little bit high.
Incaviglia has struck out, singled, and struck out. Reds lead 6-5 here in the 8th inning. Missing with a changeup, 1-0. Fouls it out of play. 1 ball and 1 strike to Incaviglia. Two and 1. Hit deep down the line, but a foul ball.
Hit one in right field yesterday afternoon.
2 balls and 2 strikes to Incaviglia. Foul tip struck him out. 3rd strikeout for Chuck McElroy. That's 2 down, and it will bring up Jim Eisenreich.
It's a good pitch, that breaking ball. It was probably a little low. Too close to layoff.
Eisenreich is grounded out, singled, and grounded sharply back to the mound, and he beats a foul at home plate. No balls and a strike to Eisenreich. As Jeff Brantley gets up in the Reds bullpen. One and 1. Two and 1. Two balls and 2 strikes. Change-up hit on the ground to Morris, and he'll make the play himself, and the Phillies are down at order in the 8th. No runs, hits, errors, and none left. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Reds lead the Phils 6-5.
There's a new kind of energy around here. A company that can meet your energy needs well into the next century without building even one new plant, which means no large increase in the cost of your service. a company whose oil-fired generators will also run on natural gas. Another way to help keep your bill down. There's a new energy company around here and a new name. Pico Energy, focusing our energies on you.
Introducing the new 1995 Lexus Coupe. After all, you only go around once.
The Phillies try to knock the Giants down to size Friday, April 29th at 7:35. Saturday, April 30th at 7:05. And Sunday, May 1st at 1:35 when it's the Fanatic's birthday. And kids 14 and under get a free cap with a Fanatic on front, compliments of Tasty Cake. Then our guys try to turn the Padres into pansies. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. May 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, all at 7:35. For tickets, call 463-1000.
Well, the first homestand at Veterans Stadium brings to the vet Colorado, Cincinnati, and Los Angeles. The Rockies in tomorrow for the home opener. It'll be sold out. Then Wednesday and Thursday, plenty of tickets available. Night games against Colorado at 7:35. Cincinnati moves in next weekend, 7:35 Friday the 15th, Saturday the 16th. Photo balls for all youngsters 14 and under. That's a 7:05 start time. Sunday the 17th at 1:35. Replica of the championship ring on a keychain for all youngsters on Sunday. Chuck McElroy leads it off, batting for himself here in the bottom of the 8th. Dodgers come in on Monday, a week from tomorrow at 7:35, and then our first business person special on the 19th. And that will be at 1:05. For tickets, call 463-1000. 1-1 the count to Chuck McElroy. He's a pretty good hitting pitcher. He's 7 for 22 lifetime, hitting at .318. He hits it to deep left center field, and Dykstra tracks it down at the warning track. As I say, he's a pretty good hitting pitcher.
Lenny had a good jump on that ball. It's a good thing he did, because he had to haul that in way over there in left center in the warning track. A good play.
That'll bring on Reggie Sanders. He has singled, lined out, and lined out. 1 strike. To deep right center field, and this ball takes 1 hop and over the fence. A ground rule double for Reggie Sanders. He's hit it hard all day.
The ball was in the air a long time. Thought maybe somebody might get it, but they really didn't get that close to it. Well, you saw Lenny back off, and I think he thought Eisenreich was coming in there.
It'll bring on Roberto Kelly. He's 2 out of 3 with a pair of runs batted in. He knocked in the tying run in this game of the 6th. Reds lead by a run, 6-5 here in the bottom of the 8th. One ball and no strikes to Kelly. Chase the low pitch. 1-1. Right to the line and right, and it's a fair ball. Sanders will score, and Kelly at second with a double. A ground rule double, back-to-back ground rule doubles, and the Reds now lead by 2, 7-5.
Hit that right off the end of the bat, did Kelly. Dumped it in there, though. Sometimes you make a good pitch and it costs you. Exactly what happened there. Fan reached out, caught it.
Here's Brett Boone. He's 2 out of 3. Roger Mason quickly gets up in the Phillies bullpen. High fly ball into right field. Jim Eisenreich makes the grab. Boone's retired. That's 2 down. That will bring up Joe Oliver. Oliver's 0 for 2 with a couple of ground outs. He's also been intentionally walked. Roger Mason throwing. Scheduled to hit for the Phils in the 9th inning, Mickey Morandini, Kevin Stocker, and a pinch hitter for Slocum. Right-hand bats on the bench include Ricky Jordan and Kim Baptiste, Tom Marsh, and Todd Pratt. Chuck McElroy, the left-hander, will be coming out in the 9th inning. One strike to Joe Oliver. There goes Kelly. He had a big lead. Slocum saw it, but neither Stocker nor Morandini were paying much attention to him. No balls and 2 strikes. Able to get a huge lead again. This time Stocker sneaks in. That ball through Dalton, but he picks it up, and Kelly has to stay at second, 1 and 2. One ball and 2 strikes to Oliver. Reds have scored a run here in the 8th. They lead by 2 now, 7-5. There he goes. But Oliver chases a high fastball, missed it, and he struck him out. That'll retire the Reds, who score a run, 2 hits, no errors, and 1 left. We go to the 9th inning. Cincinnati 7 and the Phillies 5.
Finally made it to the big leagues. In my first game, we get the call. And I'm thinking, how lucky can a guy get?
Beechwood aged for that fresh, distinctive taste. Crisp, clean, classic.
Loan rates like ours come along even less often.
Mellon PSFS. You're why we do our very best.
In an age of anonymous luxury cars, a Jaguar remains defiantly individual. Because Jaguar has a design philosophy that doesn't change with the wind. For details on the new Jaguar Dream Lease, see your local dealer.
After 8 innings of play, it's Cincinnati 7 and the Phillies 5. Tonight at 7, Reno risks everything for his father on Renegade, only on PHL 17. Kim Baptiste will bat for Mickey Morandini to lead things off for the Phils here in the 9th inning. Baptiste is 1 for 4. It was a pinch single. As a pinch hitter, he's 1 out of 1, facing Chuck McElroy here. McElroy has retired all 6 that he's faced, 3 of them by means of a strikeout. 1-0 to Baptiste. He'll be followed by Kevin Stocker. And then another pinch hitter. 1 ball and 1 strike. Line drive into right field. Is it caught? It is caught. What a great catch by Reggie Sanders. Great diving grab by Sanders, taking a hit away from Kim Baptiste.
You know, if it had that 1-run lead, he may have played that safe. But the 2-run lead, I guess he could gamble, and he got it. That was a very nice defensive play.
Cincinnati has thrown some leather at the Phillies in this series. They've made some superb defensive plays. 1 strike to Kevin Stocker, who's 0 for 2 with an intentional walk. Ricky Jordan has moved into the on-deck circle to bat for Heathcliff Slocum. 2 quick strikes to Kevin Stocker.
Play like that really gives your ball club, and especially the pitcher, a lift.
He pops it up into shallow right field. This will be easy for Sanders. He makes the grab for out number 2. And it's up to Ricky Jordan to keep this game alive. Jordan is hitting at .261. Mariano Duncan played first base this afternoon. Ricky Jordan sitting this one out. Jordan has been a pretty good hitter against McElroy. 2 for 3 lifetime. Looks at a strike. Ground ball hit to Brett Boone, and this should be the ball game. It is. Cincinnati has swept this series. First time since September 18th of '92 that the Phillies have been swept in a 3-game series. The Phillies were not swept at all in a 3-game set last year. Chuck McElroy retired all 9 that he faced and earning a save in this game. The ex-Phil pitched fine baseball, 9 up and 9 down, as the Reds sweep this 3-game series 7-5. So the first road trip of the year for the Phillies starts out great and ends badly. They'll sweep the Rockies at Colorado and are swept by the Reds here at Cincinnati. We'll be back with the totals and a recap in just a moment.
Don't you have anything to fit me? No offense, Mr. Jones, but you are a little on the small side. I need more choices. Harry, give me those genuine yellow pages. Look, choices. Italian, Greek, Chinese. You want more? Those are restaurants. That's right. You put some meat on those bones and come back and see us. 9 out of 10 use it. Mexican, barbecue. The genuine Val Atlantic yellow pages. How about a smorgasbord?
It's time to catch spring fever at Napa, the place more people rely on to keep their vehicles running and to help them save. Get easy-to-use no-touch tire care. Buy one for $2.99 and get the second one free. Valvoline oil is just 94 cents a quart. Spring is the perfect time for this handy 8-piece cooler combo, just $18.99. So spring into your nearest Napa Auto Parts store today and catch the fever.
When we introduced the Dodge National Minivan Sale, we knew people would like getting great option discounts on the minivan that already exceeds 1998 car safety requirements, just like they've always enjoyed air at no extra charge with the Caravan Family Value Package. But when people hear that their savings can total $2,600, well, we're taking appropriate measures. See your nearest Dodge dealer today.
When a spy seduces an ambassador,
Tell me the access code for your purple file.
his stolen secrets
Anon will pay well for that data.
help me threaten to destroy an empire on an all-new Babylon 5.
Wednesday at 8 on PHL 17.
Back at Riverfront Stadium in Cincinnati, our Chevrolet player of the game is Chuck McElroy, who earned his first save of the year. McElroy faced 9 batters, retired all 9, struck out 3. So the ex-Phil was very sharp in 3 innings of work. Here at Riverfront, he was aided with a great defensive play by Reggie Sanders on Kim Baptiste's ball to lead off the 9th inning. For the winning Cincinnati Reds, 7 runs, 9 hits, no errors, and 4 left. For the Phils, 5 runs, 8 hits, 1 error, and 4 left. The win goes to Pete Shurik. He's 1-0. The loss to Jeff Juden. He is 0-1, and McElroy earns his first save. Darren Dalton hit a 3-run first-inning home run in this game, but the Reds came back to score 4 in the bottom half of the first as Juden walked the bases loaded before getting a double play ground out by Mitchell, but then 3 straight singles, and Cincinnati took the lead at 4-3. So the Reds sweep this series. First time the Phillies have been swept since September of '92 in a 3-game series. 7-5 final today, and we'll be back with more right after this.